So it's good to be here with Lizzie. Lizzie, how are you doing?
Well, I'm good. Happy to be here. Nice to meet you finally, face to face.
Yeah, so finally face to face. You've been doing some amazing work that
Oh,
I really admire
thank you so
because
much.
yeah, I've not been in the movie industry like for a very long time. I think I just you about that before.
Yeah,
So I'm in this bubble called tech world for more than 17, 20 years now.
which is pretty good.
Yeah. So, and then, most of the stuff I've created over the
Yeah.
last years have been uh, mostly on, education. I've created platform and startups on education, solution on
Yeah.
education. I've created stuff on healthcare and
Mm,
stuff like that. Elections, on flood,
mm.
using technology for, AI and things like that.
Do you
But
do like app development and stuff?
yeah, app development, web app solutions, and stuff like
Right.
that.
Mm.
So but then this year or last, I've been thinking, what can I do for the entertainment industry in Nigeria? This industry is
Okay.
growing. So I look at music. Yeah, there is a lot of handful of people doing amazing things for music already, and our music is
So
like,
many
you
talents.
know, yeah. So I'm like, bomb play is there. Like, so what can I do? And I look at movie. Movie too is getting a lot of tractions.
Yeah.
So, and I love movies a lot. Then I ask myself, what can I do in using my expertise as a software engineer
Hmm.
uh, to support this industry?
Yeah.
And I look at it. So there was a day when I was on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm.
So, and I was just looking at um, a tribe called Judah. Like people were talking about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, I saw that there is no poster for a tribe called Judah. I was like, why? There's no
Oh,
poster there.
you
And then
just
I
see the
went
title.
down looking at the cast. There is
Yeah.
no picture for
I
Funke
haven't.
Akindele on it. I
Yeah.
was like, this is the biggest movie out of
At,
2024, right?
at the time, yeah.
At the time. And there is no details information about it. I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, this is a problem. We need a platform that focus on African content, that
Yeah.
give us, that elevate our actors or actresses, that put them on
Uh,
the center stage,
Yeah.
not on the back burner. Like on Rotten Tomatoes, you can never find any African content on the
I've
homepage.
noticed it. I've noticed it. It's just IMDb that is sort of doing amazing in that
Yeah,
aspect. But when it
IMDb
comes
is
to Rotten
not bad,
Tomatoes,
but they still don't feature us
RT,
on their homepage.
yeah. When it comes to RT, you hardly see African movies making the headlines or having the posters on the
Yeah.
website. It's just maybe the title and the cast and duration and where to watch you see. And when you try to check reviews on there, you hardly see reviews.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, we can complain about this or we could just change it.
Yeah, do something
And then I
about
have
it.
like this crazy idea that can I build a IMDb and a Rotten Tomato into one, but
Mm.
then make it better than both of them? Like,
In
I
the
like how
African
can
context.
that's insane, right? And IMDb has a whole lot of money. Like, it's owned by Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes is a past conglomerate
Oh,
uh,
it's huge.
by Fandigo and stuff like that. They have a
It's
lot of
it's
money.
it's massive.
It's massive. They are really rich guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what do I have now? But I have to do something. In sincerely, I just shared the idea with Toyosi here, and I was
Hmm.
like, that's a good idea. Some people have tried this before, but they failed. It showed me some projects that for, and I saw another one. Even the guy that started it is in the UK. The company was even registered in the UK, and the co-founder was in Canada. When I
Which
checked
one
them
is that? Which one is
out,
that?
I can't remember the name, but it's like a movie for Africa something, and they have
Database.
some good content there. But the
Yeah.
platform is dead now, and
Is
nobody.
it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've seen like 2 3 platforms like that have tried to do this and they've died.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
I love the concept. I love the idea. When I saw the name Patty Jollof Africa, when you see Jollof, the first thing that comes to mind is Jollof rice. So I'm like, okay, what's the idea? What's the idea behind the name? So I'm like, okay, Rotten Tomatoes. When you see Rotten Tomatoes, it has nothing to do with tomatoes, right? But then they
Yeah.
have that name. So something striking. So, but then I would like to know what the idea behind the name is. You chose
Yeah,
Patty Jollof,
Africa.
making us
Yeah.
salivate.
So yeah, that's the idea really. Because when I was thinking from the name, I have
Yeah.
this mood board where I was sketching names and stuff like that. I have
Mm-hmm.
Africa movie database. I have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of ideas and things like that that we could use. I was just
Yeah.
like, hmm. But we need something different, something that people will be like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, and I look at Africa. What do we love? What is the things that bring everyone together? It's party, man.
Patty, good. That's one.
So I'm like, so what's party without jollof? For God's sake.
I see where the combo came from.
So
Nice
that
one,
was,
nice one.
yeah. So that was where I got the idea. Like, okay, yeah,
Mm.
Africans we life party like across the continent. It's
Oh,
something that
Bedu,
brings
Bedu.
like it's what brings everyone together.
Oh yeah,
So
lively,
I want
lively
a
people.
name that is not stereotypical, like it's just
Mm.
Nigeria, it's just Kenya, it's just South Africa,
Mm.
and stuff like that. I've used Swahili name in some of my projects before. Like when I
Okay.
built Mbele, it was Swahili Kenya kind of name, which is really nice. A lot of people love it. So
Yeah.
I'm like party jollof, like party. All of us can like we can relate with it.
Yeah, it's
Jollof is
relatable.
something we argue about, right?
Especially Nigerian jollof and Ghana jollof. But let's not start the argument. I'm still when it comes to
But you're not Ghanaian, right? Are you
sorry.
Ghanaian? Are you Ghanaian?
No, I'm not. A lot of people have asked me that question, both online and offline in my place of work. There was a guy that came to my place of work for the first time, was like, wait, what part of Ghana are you from? I'm like, I'm Nigerian. He was like, no, go ask your father.
Maybe you get like before.
Many persons have asked, but I am Nigerian. Edo, I'm from Edo State.
Edo State. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. So
What part
what
of Nigeria are you from? Or are you not Nigerian?
I'm Nigerian, but a lot of people take me for I think
East
people take me for
African.
Somalian.
Yeah.
Yeah, people take me for there's another country in that eastern region.
Tanzania. Is it
Yeah,
Tanzania?
people take me for that. But I love it anyway. Like I love the fact that people don't take me for Nigeria.
When I look at you, I remember this guy. Oh, his name now has just flown off my head. Oh, he sings all these very funky African songs, but he's not Nigerian. Oh,
Oh,
names. I am not very good with names. The names are just flown off. When I remember, I will mention it. His name. When I see you, I remember. When I see your pics, I remember him. He's a musician, very well-known musician, actually. I'm trying to remember.
interesting.
When I remember, I'll let you know.
So I know there's a lot of layers to you. You are a poet.
Diamonds, Platinums. That's his name. Diamonds.
Oh yeah, it's been a while we heard from
Right.
him though.
Hmm. I'm not sure I remember any of his recent songs, but he used to give us back to back in the day.
Yeah. So there's a lot of layers to you in terms of the work you do.
Really?
Like you are a poet, a
Okay.
book critic, a
Oh,
writer, and all of those things. Like I just want to like, and also I noticed something on your social media. You have
okay.
like these life lessons
Mm,
before, and then I think you pivoted your content. Did you
yeah,
pivot? Yeah.
yeah.
So tell us the stories. How did that happen?
Oh, it's a pretty long story. Should I say, if you're looking for a multifaceted or multi-talented individual, you look no further. You're looking at one. So it was more like it was becoming too overwhelming that I can sing. I've got two singles on YouTube, on my YouTube channel,
Whoa.
and I can write poems. You remember the time of George Floyd when he passed
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
very under very unfortunate circumstances. I did a poem both in English and in Pidgin English. So the Pidgin English version got published. So I write poems. I braid my own hair. I cut my son's
Whoa, okay,
hair. In
that's a
fact,
superpower. That's a super-
yeah. So
I have
there.
a friend that does it and she freaks me out.
Oh,
She freaks me out.
when I show people the pictures of the braids that I make on my own hair, they're like, "Wait a minute, you didn't just do that." And even
Yeah,
when I'm
she
pregnant,
freaks me out.
Even when I was pregnant with my third son, I did my own braids before I went into labor. So it's kind of
Oh,
something else. And when I cut my son's hair as well, it's like a professional doing it. So it's like I could go into hair making, I could go into the writing side of things, I could go into singing. So, and being here in the UK, where I have my children and just my husband, just all of us, there's no external family members to help. And then there's work on the side. And at some point, I was studying as well. I'm still studying at the moment. So it was difficult carrying so many things together, being a full-time housewife, being a full-time worker, being a full-time student, and then having this passion and career to also pursue. So I
yeah.
sat myself down one day. I was like, girl, put it all together. Put it all together. And I find that I'm able to sort of share ideas from time to time. Like I could just have some like a quotation, like a my motivational quotes, and then I put it online and I see the reactions, and it motivates and inspires people. So I just told
Mm,
myself, instead of having so many things that you're doing, why don't you focus on one and pursue that one and make something out of it?
mm.
And I discovered that I love to watch movies right from time. Honestly, when I start to reflect back, it's something that has been there right from when I was a child. Because when I watch movies, cartoons, action movies, drama with my mom, I find that when I finish, I love to tell people about it.
About
So
it,
it,
yeah.
it didn't occur to me that I could make something out of it, even when internet came about. So it was just, I would say, this year that it all just became something to me that I told myself, focus on movie reviews, watch the movies, and then write about them. And some persons will be like, what time do you have to write all these things? And that's
Yeah.
one thing about me as well. When I start to write, it's like a whole new person, like a different person entirely. And they sort of, many of my friends, they can't wrap their head around how I
You're
would
doing
find the
that.
time to write such lengthy write-ups, but it doesn't take me much to write. Like there's the one that I reviewed this morning, Mercy Johnson's um, Penny Pincher. It's on
Mm.
YouTube. That one, I wasn't ready to review it this morning, but something was like, you've watched this movie yesterday. Why don't you just put it up? I was like, oh, there's no time. It didn't take me up to 30 minutes to come up with that that review. So it's inherent, it's inborn. I don't struggle to come up with the write up. So that's why I just told myself, okay, enjoy watching movies. I enjoy reviewing them. And before I write the reviews, I make sure I've done my homework so I don't get my facts right. Even though being human, I am not devoid of mistakes. Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect. And I love to take corrections. That's one thing about me. But it has to be done in the proper way. You know how online person people can be. They just throw
I
words,
do.
but they have some very courteous ones. So yeah, I take corrections where necessary, and I love to argue.
That's good.
I love to argue. If I know that this thing is the way I see it, oh my God, we'll argue about it till tomorrow. So
So
yeah, that's it.
that's really inspiring. Funke Akindele flagged one of your posts.
She
How
did.
did you feel? How did you? I saw your post about it, and I know you were.
Oh my
You
God. I felt I felt terrible when I saw the notification from Facebook, especially because the post had garnered over 10,000 views, and that's like the first time I would post a video, and it will have so much views. And so that it was the next day I saw the notification. I woke up to it actually. I just saw it. I was taken aback. And so I had to calm down and check the details. Oh no, it was in the midnight, because I remember it was in the morning that I had to rant. I had to pour it all out. So yeah, I saw her posts on Instagram, because many of these celebrities, it's on Instagram, you get some things about them. So I follow a lot of them, and I love them, to be honest. Funke Akindele, to be very specific, I have been following her work right from the day of I Need to Know.
Wow.
I Need to Know. So I think when this whole movie review thing was beginning to kick off on my page, her movie, and her a write-up about her was one of the first things that I did on my page concerning movie reviews. I wrote about her and how I have known her from the day of I Need to Know. And so many persons were like, come, how old are you? If you know Funke Akindele from I Need to Know. And she was just a teenager at the time. So I've known her for that long, and I've followed her for that long time. So when that happened, it sort of struck a chord in me. I wasn't happy about it.
I feel like your superstar just broke your
Yeah,
heart.
honestly, just kind of threw me under the bus, and it was a very harmless gesture
Yeah,
from me. It's not like it's a movie. If it was a movie, I wouldn't do that because I don't even subscribe to piracy, and I
yeah,
understand these things. It was an advert concerning it was a tug of war really between
yeah,
this new movie now everybody loves Jennifer, and was it A Tribe Called Judah? I think was it more like a concept born out of a contemplation between should
yeah,
we come up with a Tribe of Judah season 2 or something like that, part 2, or Everybody Loves Jennifer. So at the end of the day, Everybody Loves Jennifer won the context. You understand? You remember the video. So I just took that clip and then posted it on my page, and then I tagged her. And the next thing, there was lots of reaction from it. So it really made me feel bad. And then after ranting, there were lots of comments under the post, and some persons reached out to me via my WhatsApp number, and they were like, you know what, this has happened to so many persons. If you watch well, people don't often post her videos. It's because of things like this. We feel your pain. Please don't feel bad. But the thing is, avoid anything Funke Akindele.
yeah,
I wouldn't mention names. So, but I was like, it really hit hard. But then the next thing, quite funny, the next thing I went on Instagram again, just scrolling, not looking for anybody in particular. And her post was the first that popped up. And it was a post about, was a picture about ELJ, Everybody Loves Jennifer, with the cast and everybody, Patience Ozokwo, the lady from Ghana, and everyone else. I just took the screenshot of the photos and I posted it right after that rant. And that photo, as we speak right now, is like one of the highest reactions I've got so far. So it
yeah,
was like, okay, compensation in a way. I was like, okay, God sees my heart, and I'm doing this from a place of love, not to maybe prove anything really. It wasn't for cloud chasing or anything like that. And I remember I emailed her team, because when people ask me, I'll be like, her team reported my page, not Funke Akindele reported my page, because they are two different things. I don't want to believe that Funke Akindele has so much time on her hands
yeah,
to
definitely.
notice my page. When I say this, people will be like, stop saying that. Stop berating yourself. But I look at it that way, just so it's not like I am taking it personal with her. I
Yeah,
still love her to bits. But as we speak at the moment, my page is still flagged. It's still having the copyright issue. When I click on it, it's still showing that your page has issues. It's on amber at the minute. So if there's any other strike, my page may just go down. So I'm being really, really careful. So I've emailed her team on 2 occasions, I remember, or 3 occasions now, but there's been no reply. And then
yeah,
when I remember one of the posts she made when after ELJ started showing in cinemas, she made a post where she was giving warnings against piracy, of which on Facebook, as I know, I am against piracy. So she mentioned that people could post the trailer of ELJ. But I remember that I made a comment under her page stating that, is it safe to post the trailer when just the advert for this ELJ got flagged? So is it safe to post the trailer? There was no reply to that comment as we
still,
speak. I still don't
yeah.
feel
I think
offended
I
though.
think the point is, the industry is still young, right?
Mm,
And a lot of us are trying to, like, support any bit he wants to do. So they
yeah.
are the good people, right? Like,
Hmm.
straight safe content. You don't want piracy, but you just want to, like, amplify the work with
Hmm.
the way. And the thing is, I just see you, like, because the reason why I'm saying this is I understand this. A lot of people have had this conversation about, yeah, Funke Akindele flagging uh people that post snippets or post some
Mm-hmm.
things online and stuff like that. So I think it's good to, yeah, because they did it to Partition of Africa also, So, but for me, like I wasn't mad. I think they did it on our YouTube because I think it was the same thing. So that they flag our YouTube channel. So when they flagged the YouTube channel, it was because we have our email there. You
Yeah.
understand? I believe like, and even before that, we've done a lot of, like, we are small platform, but the
Yeah, it's
impact
still
still
growing.
matters. Doesn't matter, right?
You
It
never
doesn't
can
matter.
tell the impact you're making,
Yeah,
really.
like for instance, Queen Latifah had the biggest traffic from part of Africa. You
Oh,
know that
that's good to
till
know.
date. Yeah,
Yeah,
till
that's
date.
good to know.
And even like Wumi Toriola, like I know
Hi to
like she wants
Yossi.
all this
Hello.
support that she wants from everyone. And the one thing I've seen about social media is that it doesn't matter how big your platform is. If the
Nah.
content is
Mhm.
amazing and people react to it really well, you can still go. Anyone can go viral. Like anyone. That's why the algorithms see that the stuff is great. So, but
Mhm.
I think for Funke Akindele and stuff like that, there is this fair use, especially when it's like promotional materials.
Yeah.
You understand? It's not the real, like, if anyone posts a video or you went to record in cinema, like that's sheer
No,
piracy,
yeah, that's
right?
yeah, that's a no-no.
So I think that you can still raise it with Facebook themselves. It could take some time.
Oh,
So
the instruction there is specifically to contact the owner of the video that was dropped.
maybe it's right. It's
So
it's
what
hard
they said is
because
if the
they
owner
strike
then
us
reply
both on Facebook and on
and
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. So have you
So,
resolved
but
yours?
yeah, we just
Oh,
Facebook told
really?
us, and then we're
Uh-huh.
like, I think what do we do? I think we removed the video, and they didn't count it against us really.
Facebook dropped my video themselves.
They
So these
drop
are
it, right?
two, yeah, by themselves. These are two different
Yeah,
things.
but they now still hold that strike against you.
Yeah, it's still there. I wish I could show like a screenshot of it.
That's so strange because for us, really, they didn't hold this strike against us.
Because what
And even now, they're like, Facebook have been going over all of our content,
yeah.
and then especially the music, and they're
Hmm.
just telling us, and we just do shared revenue now. So
Yeah, I've got
share
that.
revenue with
Hmm.
them, or if you like, just take it off.
Oh
Like it
no, the
doesn't matter.
video.
So, but
What face
I
what sorry to cut you short. What Facebook did to mine was that they dropped the video and then they took off my accessibility to gain earning through stars and the notification there that my page has issues being reported and all of that. So right now they've restored my ability to earn through stars, but
okay.
it's the notification is still there on my dashboard that
Yeah,
I
sometimes
have
Facebook,
I have
because Facebook is
issues.
big, they find it difficult to remove notifications. Like for instance,
Okay.
I've run an advert on IG for for some period of time, and I cancelled it.
Okay.
But IG was removing my money for 2 months. Yeah. So sometimes it's just their errors.
Hope you've
So
rectified it.
they fix it eventually.
Okay.
So sometimes the system is just too big that it's
Mm.
difficult for them to reconcile stuff.
Okay.
So, and another thing I've noticed also
Yeah.
is we when they said our Facebook was in another country, but we were in the UK,
How
and
so?
they removed. Yeah, they said we can't do subscription. Subscriptions are only
Yeah.
for international. Like it's not available in Nigeria accounts. But I
Okay.
think because we have managers,
In
Facebook admins from Nigeria that log in from Nigeria,
right.
so because of that, they removed that from our channel. So, but it's if
Voila,
you
not so much like this.
you understand. So sometimes, but then when you go to our channel, you still see subscribe, but you like
Yeah.
you said it's been removed. So it's confusing.
Maybe it's for your Facebook in the UK that has this subscription stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, they said that they suspended us from having subscribers. paid subscribers, which is okay. Like we don't really care so much about paid subscribers
There are
on this
many ways to earn on Facebook. Many
yeah,
ways.
without paid
Yeah.
subscribers. Like I think that's really great. But what do you think? Like as a critic in Nollywood, do you think Nollywood is matured enough to handle critics?
Hey, are we ready for this conversation?
Yeah, we should.
Oh, the thing is that in every facet of life, there is the good, the bad, and the ugly. I would use that metaphor to mean that there are some producers who are open to criticism and they handle it quite well. And I want to believe that there are some who are watching and reading these reviews and making amends amicably, effectively, efficiently. And there are some who would see some of these reviews and they would just roll their eyes and do nothing about it. It's like
Bad belly people. Go and do your movie now.
it doesn't bother them. You can rant all you want. It's like, oh, you can only make noise. See poor person, they one place, they criticize person where they make your own money kind of thing. Even Rema sang it in one of his songs. This is like Monday morning talking about me making money, something like that. So I think some of them have that idea where they feel like, okay, they can talk all they want and I will do all what I want. And you have the viewers who are ardent, diehard followers of these producers that if you criticize their favorites work, my goodness, they will come for your head. So it's just about once you know that you're coming to the public, right? You should be prepared for anything. So I have prepared my mind. But as a human being, there are some that just gets to you. But you still shake it off because before coming out, you already know what you're coming to get. But coming to your question, if Nollywood is matured enough, I would say yes and no. Yes, because you still have that. Because recently I did a kind of rant, where I was complaining about the way our industry is going at the moment, where you have lots of movies churned out every now and again. I used to call it every Eke market day. But right now it's like every other day or every day.
Yeah,
And I broke it down in my analysis such that about 95% of our actors and actresses are now producers. But as we
yes.
speak right now, I think that percentage is not accurate. I think it's about 99.9% of our actors, because there were some that was like I that were like in the 5% that were not kind of into the production side of things. They were just doing their thing. But I was shocked to see that many of them have gone into full blown having their own channel. You see this TV, you see that TV. Mm. But there are
So,
some who
we'll
are
have
doing
your
amazing.
opinion on this. I think it's the best way for you to come in. What do you think uh, about is Nollywood
Okay.
matured enough for critics, and then producer explosion?
Okay. Let me start from here. Once again, hi Lizzie, hi Peter.
Hi, so Yossi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, same here. So yesterday I was on a phone call with my friend. Peter knows this person, Dari, and then we
Okay.
were talking about films and whatnot. And my friend was making reference to some of the recent films in the Nigerian cinema space, especially the films from Funke Akindele, Mercy Aige, Tony Abraham, and the likes.
Mhm.
And from what he said, listening as a filmmaker, I realized that we really have a huge responsibility
Yeah.
on our shoulders.
Mhm.
It's not enough to just be a creative making films, but I think the Nollywood audience, let me put it that way, at home and in diaspora, is ready for the next level. So it's as if we have been given the microphone, but what are we saying into the
Mhm.
microphone? So now going back to the question, if any creative industry wants to improve, they need critics. They need both the destructive and the constructive critics. Now, the critics in Nigeria,
Destructive.
yeah, the critics in Nigeria, we have
Who is
quite,
the devil?
yeah, we
We
have
need the
quite
destructive
a
one because
diverse.
Lizzie, I'm not saying you are destructive enough.
I was gonna ask which. where I come in.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't say, but for instance,
Okay.
cinema pointer can be very destructive.
Okay.
Can be very destructive. But there's this guy that writes essays about Nigerian films, Sheila Lasisi.
Mm,
There's Oris. There's Will Okiche. These are very constructive critics.
mm-hmm.
And I have also noticed that I have a few friends who were critics who have now delved fully into filmmaking. They've been quite
Oh.
quiet since they started making films on their own. Friends like Martin Chuku, Taiwo Egunjobi, they become quite quiet since they started making their own films. It means that there's a lot that you will see when, like being a football pundit, it's easier to sit in the chair and speak
Yeah.
than to make the
Right.
films. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that whatever the pundit says is wrong. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that sometimes the expression, the way they communicate their ideas is the problem. So
Mm.
now, for an industry that wants to go to the next level, we need these critics because sometimes you need your ego to be to be shattered to be humble in order to learn, unlearn, and grow.
Really? Yeah,
So
that's true.
true growth will not come without the critics. We need them because to be fair, my friend yesterday was listing films, and let's say out of 20 films that we talked
Yeah.
about 17 would not cut it internationally. I mean, we all live in the, we all live in the UK, and I
Mm-hmm.
am kind of in the UK film ecosystem here. I have seen quality films from unknown filmmakers here, and I bet you some of our films cannot stand with those films. To tell you
Mm-hmm.
how high the bar has been raised in this country,
Yeah.
talk less of Nollywood or Korea or India.
Mm-hmm.
I have Indian filmmaker friends, and the level they are at in their country, Nigeria is still falling short. We are so sentimental. We get attached to the filmmakers such that we don't tell them the truth to their faces. That this film is not just not good enough. We still struggle with the art of storytelling. Let me not even go. So we're so good with spectacle, but we're so terrible with the basic of everything, the function of everything, which is storytelling. It's very bad. Nigeria
So,
as an industry is still struggling with the third act till now. We don't know how
so
to end our films. It's a problem.
do you think that Bollywood, because you just mentioned Indian movies, right? And
Yes,
Indian
yes.
producers, do you feel that Bollywood is at a higher strata compared to Nollywood as we speak?
Yes, yes. Why? Because their best films per season, head to head with our best film per season, we can't stand them.
Mhm.
So
Oh, really?
Bahubali, for every Bahubali, for every RRR, we can't compete
Right.
with them.
No,
We just we just can't.
RRR is RRR is on another level of cinematic masterpiece. Few
But
Exactly.
Hollywood,
I beg to
few
differ though.
yeah, but few Hollywood movies can stand that. You know, there is a lot of the charade and stuff. Bollywood have its own issues, right? But when you talk about how stories are being spun,
Yeah, for the
IRR
story, it's
brought
different.
a new, like they brought a new spin
Yeah.
to everything we already know. It's like
RRR
taking
is
October 1 and
yeah.
turn it into something that is, it's still colonialism, right?
Uh-huh.
But then I'm thinking of one day that we can do our colonial story in a way that spins everybody's head. Not
But
like,
the likes
and
of
that's
Femi Adebayo and the others, they are doing some pretty amazing work when it comes to telling epic stories, epic Nigerian
yeah.
stories. But when you compare Bollywood and Nollywood, I would beg to differ. I feel that that part of Nollywood that is doing amazing still beats Bollywood in
Mm,
to a large extent. And when you bring RRR, the theatrics in RRR was just the cinematic display and the editing
yeah,
and all of that. To me, it
Yeah,
doesn't quite cut it.
you
They are
know,
yeah,
far
yeah.
from believable. You see
yeah, I
somebody
think the
Okay.
jumping
idea,
from one building or somebody springing from the bottom of a pole and straight to the top. It's like,
Yeah.
are we
Can
still
I?
kidding? Are we still living in
Yeah.
1999 or something?
Well, can I come in here?
Yeah.
With respect to that, let me respond this way. You see, in filmmaking, just like there's what we call story world.
Okay.
So when we talk about believability,
Yeah.
believability in this situation does not refer in this context rather doesn't refer to the believability in the real world, but believability within the context of the story. What do I mean?
mm,
For every Bahubali and RRR, we also have our own films on witchcraft, where witch just fly from left to right and all. And it's not as if anybody has seen an actual witch flying. We see witches flying on broom. We see witches flying on this. Not as if we've
Those
actually
are
seen them,
there's
but we have been told
Hollywood
they are.
part as well.
So
Yeah.
But
it's cinematic
but
item. They just like item it
exactly
for
so.
expression.
But as long as the world has been established to be like that, for
Yeah.
instance, in a world where they've established that it is mystical, like this film, Chronicles of Narnia. So if you see a
Mhm.
half man, half horse, you don't get surprised. If
Yeah.
a word has been established in a film like Harry Potter, then you'll be
Mhm.
surprised to see somebody casting a spell with a rod, because the word
Yeah.
has been established.
Yeah.
So for films like RRR, yes, they look Atlantis and unbelievable in the real world, but so long as in that world that has been established in the movie, it stays there. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but for us in Nigerian film industry, what I'm saying is it's not as if we don't have good films because I can mention out of my head now, Saworo there, October 1, for Maria Ebunpataki, Eyimofe,
Funmilayo, Kuti.
Lara
Some
Sokuti,
Kuti.
Mami Water, Seven Doors, King of Boys. I can mention
House
films, but
of
I'm
God.
saying,
Mm.
thank you. If you look at the proportion, it's still not good enough.
Yeah.
Mostly because I know that Nigerians are super gifted when it comes to storytelling, but we struggle to transfer oral storytelling into visual storytelling. That's our problem right now. We struggle.
Yeah.
And so many of it's as if the ones who know how to do it don't have the resources, and the ones who have the resources don't know how to do it.
Okay, now so Ni
Akimalayan.
says,
Mm.
yeah. So he said something that I think it's like a jab to critics that
Yeah.
don't why I'm quoting, paraphrasing, but if I get the quote, I'll say like instead of you sitting down and criticizing how somebody is not doing well in their movie, sit down and be thinking of how you do your own.
The thing is that we can't
Well,
all we
let
can't
me let
all
me
be
okay.
producers. We can't all be producers, right? In every
Yeah.
facet of any industry, you have it's teamwork makes the dream work. So if all of us are
Yes.
producers, just the way Nollywood is right now, who does the other jobs of picking out
Yes.
some errors and things to improve upon? So
Yes.
that's where the critics come in
Yes.
into play. I smile when
Yes.
I see comments like, you just sit down there and write reviews and condemn someone's movie and all of that. And the way I do my reviews is such that I tell you the good parts that I see and the parts that I don't like. Except the movie is just maybe I was just taken like aback that day and I didn't like the movie at all, but which rarely happens. So I try to be constructive in my criticism. So I smile when I see comments like, go and produce your own movie. What movie have you produced? And all of that. So we all have our parts to play in all of this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So
and and for sorry, Peter, for Nia Kimolayan, for instance, look at his last three films. Has there been any improvement? Look, filmmakers do this a lot because we have a lot of ego. When
Mm.
people criticize our work, nobody likes it, especially when it is not favorable. Nobody likes it. So sometimes we react, but we still go back home and think about what has been said. Is this true or is this not true? Because Nia Kimolayan, look at the same person who made Lisabi. That means that he has been learning from whatever the critics have been saying. He may
yeah.
not like it. He doesn't have to like it. But he goes back and then does a review of what he has done and then it improves. Because we all need these people, whether they say it in a nice way or not, but we need to hear the truth in order to get better. Roger
Yeah.
Ebert wasn't taking it easy on Hollywood before he died. He didn't take it easy at all on Hollywood. That's why
So
Hollywood keeps getting better and better.
the idea is this. So when people say that, but I think what he's trying to say is that he said young filmmakers should not critique. You know,
I kind of get
so
that. Yeah.
is
If
it
you're a
for
film,
me? I
yeah.
find it like a kind of you are putting fear into them because when you said that, oh, young filmmaker, are you working on your film or busy telling everyone how you will have made someone else film better? Go to work. There is so much to cover. The industry needs you. Don't be distracted. So, in my own world view, I'm
Hmm.
like, just like in tech, for instance,
Yeah.
like everyone criticizes everyone. That's the way tech work, and that's why you have seen OpenAI, a
Mm.
business that started with 35 people 5 years, 7 years ago,
Yeah.
is now a $1 billion business. It doesn't come out of just being gentle with Microsoft or Altman was coming from, that's what we call disruptions.
Yeah.
So if you have an industry that is trying to give a sign that you young filmmaker
Shouldn't.
tread carefully, because you know where the
Yeah.
money is, you will not get it.
I
You
think
understand?
that's one
So
thing. Yeah,
that is
that's one
what
thing with
that
Nigeria.
code, that's what
Yeah.
is the vibe. Maybe I'm using my Nigerian lens to read it. You know,
I,
when
I I
like
get where you're coming
young
from.
filmmaker,
Yeah.
watch, we are watching you,
It's sort of
because
like
you come
putting
with somebody that
instilling
will remind
fear.
you of what you told me.
I think it's sort of like instilling fear, more like
Yeah,
control via
yeah,
fear.
control freak.
Yeah, so you don't have the right to say anything. And I see this play out a lot in Nigeria because I've seen some of our African brothers and sisters over here, and you see this timidity sometimes.
Mm,
You know how we grew up where elders are talking and you don't have any right to say a thing. You understand? So I think that's the angle where he's coming from to say something like that. And he has no
yeah,
right, to be honest, to say a thing like that. Any person has the right to air their opinions, whether you're a film maker or you're not a filmmaker. You can say things, and it's all geared towards improving the industry. And that's why I said that's the part where I said I don't think Nollywood is ready for critics yet, because some of them, I'm sure they read these reviews, they hear these reviews, but they don't do anything about it. It's just few of them that would sort of make improvements, and you see these improvements coming
mm,
showing live in their videos. But some, it's like pouring water on the back of a duck. It doesn't sink in at all.
yeah.
And
Because like
this
we
brings
have
me
all the
to
money, we are the one the
yeah,
industry
to
leaders.
yeah. So that's the thing. And I really can't wrap my head around how it has been allowed so much so that all the actors and actresses have become producers and filmmakers in the industry. Children, teenagers, adults alike. And the way the movies are being released. And the one that got to me the most this December was the Christmas movies.
Because
My goodness. It was like
everyone wants
Christmas
the
this,
piece of it.
Christmas table, Christmas chair, Christmas roof. Oh my goodness, I don't even want to mention names, to
Don't
be
kill
honest.
me.
I don't want that to happen in 2025, because which of the industries do you see movies like this coming up every now and again? And then you wonder how Netflix withdrew their sponsorship from producers. And
So
I saw one comment, sorry, I saw one comment where one guy was saying all of these movies that are being produced all the time, and the thing, the painful part of it all is that same story, they just twerk the storyline and change the actors and change the location and props and costumes and all of that, and boom, a different name has come out. And when you watch it, you could tell the end of the movie right from the beginning. Sometimes you could even tell the end of the movie just by looking at the poster alone. And some of these producers have their clique of actors and actresses, same faces all the time, and it's because all of them have become producers. And there was one time, there was one talk about views, and producers are using actors to gather views from their channels, and it has to be at least 1 million views. So it's like
I think
if your movie
Kadri
doesn't hit 1 million views, it's like it's not a good movie. And you wonder why Netflix would still want to continue a partnership with all of these things, because it's distracting viewership from Netflix. When you have movies to watch on YouTube where you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to pay monthly subscription unless you don't want the ads, then you can subscribe. Of course, you would want to watch those movies just to pass time instead of paying for subscription only to watch a movie that you don't know how it will end up, or you already know the story and things like that. So I honestly,
since you should bring the issue of Netflix and Prime Video, I think we should touch on that.
yeah.
So yeah, what do you think, like the impact of Netflix, uh the impact itself on what they've
Yeah.
done, and then
Hmm.
the impact on living Nigeria, and what's the cause and effect, on why, what are the reasons? There have been a lot of speculations about the reason why they
When
go and stuff like that.
Um, I I thank you for that question. I stumbled upon a kind of interview, not necessarily an interview, it was like an awards show. I've forgotten the Zap or something like that. There was one of the filmmakers. What's his name now? I wrote about him. Um, he spoke about the one who did Anikulapo Kuti. So no, Anikulapo.
Kule
Yeah.
Aflaya.
Yeah, Kunle Afolayo, yeah, that's the one. What's the name of the movie now? The one on
Anikulapo.
Netflix. It's Anikulapo, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
series.
so he spoke about Netflix, and the kind of the organizer of that program. What he said was Netflix served Nigeria the Last Supper. So the moment he mentioned that, what came to my mind was that Netflix has packed their bags and they've left Nigeria. So I had to do a little digging, I have to do a little reading about it, and then I discovered that what really was the case was not that Nigeria Netflix had packed their things off Nigeria. They only stopped funding producers, because before then they would fund some movies, give funding to producers to produce a certain movie based on the contract that they have. Basket Mouth also touched on this, where he said Netflix gives some money to some producers and then they will only use about 10% of the funding and pocket the rest 90%. It's alleged, so we're not sure, and all of that. So I read about it, and another reason is that the revenue that Netflix is getting from the Nigerian markets as per subscribers is not sufficient. It's not enough.
It's not in cooperation with the spending, the
Yeah,
funding.
yeah, the funding that they are feeding into the industry, it's not commensurate with what they get back. So
Yeah,
it's understandable. It's only rational for them to take that step. But then you wonder why. It's not far-fetched. All of the movies on YouTube, people are now overwhelmed with the amount of movies on YouTube. For me, when I see these posters, of course, I upload them on my page because I believe that there are movies for everyone. You understand? My taste in movie is not your taste in movies. Some persons may just like movies that they don't have to think too much, whereas I may like a movie that would challenge me intellectually.
think too much.
Yeah,
I like
so yeah, there are people like that. Let me just watch this movie to while away time. So there is a movie for everyone, and I think
yeah,
that's one thing that these producers are basing their production on. So they
yeah,
don't want
true.
to. They always have the views. That's the thing. That's why they're not stopping anytime soon. It's the way I see it.
Yeah,
And so Netflix, that's the reason why Netflix took that action from what I read online. And the reason is not far-fetched. The movies on YouTube is enough distraction for Nigerian subscribers. Instead of subscribing to Netflix, people hardly even feed.
do
People
Nigerian
hardly,
do
yeah.
Nigerian actually like subscribing? Do you think subscribing works for Nigerians? Do you think you will like that?
The way Nigeria is such that it's difficult to give a straight answer. You
Yeah,
understand?
because
Because you see them online.
yeah,
You see
but
them online with data. Those data they spend is money as well.
yeah,
And
but do
that's
we like a lot of subscription businesses have not took off in Nigeria
in Nigeria. I
because
think
people don't like money going off their banks. I have friends who are earning a lot but won't subscribe on
we will
Netflix.
not subscribe, right? The thing is that I don't know if it's because most Nigerians just like to do things the way they want to do them.
Hmm.
Yeah, not because they don't have the money for some of them, because if you watch well, the data that is spent online, it's massive, it's
Yeah,
ginormous, you know.
Nigerians spend a
So,
lot.
and then when I look at the rate of piracy in the industry, it's a cankerworm that is eating the industry. But I'm not sure the producers are also ready, because
Yeah,
there are lots of steps they could take. You see people posting links online with
yeah.
all
On our
boldness.
platform, we block every link.
The way
Yeah,
my page is configured, the way I configured my page is such that nobody can drop a link, whether it's
yeah,
a legitimate link or not, unless I unhide that link before anybody can see it. And I know that that link is the legitimate, before I will unhide it. So if
yeah,
anybody, I've seen people trying to drop links of Telegram things on my page, it doesn't go through. You wouldn't, nobody else will see it. I'll be the only one to see it. And I
yeah,
don't subscribe to such. I've said it time and time again. But then you see on other pages, you see Telegram links shared up and down, but nothing is done to any of this. No action is taken. So why
yeah.
would people
So
stop? And then that leads me to Circuit TV. It's one platform that came up, and I was elated. I was over the moon. I was like, yes, finally something to curb the menace of piracy and all of that. So if there is that platform where people can subscribe, because I felt like that was an action to sort of respond to Netflix's action of taking funding off Nigerian
Yeah.
producers. Because Ni Afolayan said something that he was happy that he had finished producing, shooting Annie Collabo season 2 and 3. But it's just the others who have not met up with theirs that were affected in that speech that he gave. So what I'm trying to say is that Circuit, I was happy with it. Only for Circuit to start running when it was launched, I was disappointed, to say the least. Not only is it that it's not subscription based, you would have to pay a huge amount of money for one movie, and then you're having a restriction, you're having a deadline to watch a movie on that 24 hours. Not everybody, for instance, there are some 2 hours movie that takes me about 3 days to finish, depending. And that's not because it's not interesting, but because of my work schedule. I have 3 children. I work as well, and some other things. I'm a wife as well. So you can't expect a person to pay for a movie and then you're restricting their time of viewing that movie to 24 hours. And it was just a crazy idea. And besides that, they had made promises. If you're among the first 1,000 subscribers, you're eligible to have your first movie free. That was thrown. It was thrown in the air. I was one of the first 1,000 subscribers, but then I never got the.
So I think Circuit TV was Rush.
Okay.
It's I don't have idea of whatever
Mm-hmm.
they that gone into that platforms and everything, but I
Yeah.
just know that it's Papaya Studios,
Oh, I
so
papaya.
owns it. Yeah,
Okay.
Papaya Studios, because I look into their codes and what they're doing on
Uh
their
huh.
platform. So when I saw it, I was curious, but I wasn't so
Hmm.
curious. I just
Okay.
look at the business model and I want to see if it works. I want Nollywood that works for everyone. That's
Yeah.
so when it starts, I told my team don't jump onto this. Like nobody's paying us for what we are doing anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like jump on bad wagon. I just want to be sure these things is
Would work.
rooted.
Hmm.
So when I saw your post, you
Hmm.
immediately just like my this thing.
Yeah.
And then when once you sign up, they're asking for my phone number. I'm like, why? Why do you want to get my phone number? Like, I don't
Mm.
know. Like, also
I
they
think
didn't put
it's like that with all subscriptions. You'd have to
no.
give
I,
your
I
phone
don't have my
number
phone number
on Netflix.
on Netflix. Or
Do you
yeah,
not?
I don't. I don't have my phone
Hmm.
numbers there. I don't. I don't have to have my phone numbers on.
Okay.
And that's from that you're a new company. I don't even trust you. So why I can trust Netflix? Netflix have been here for 15 years. Amazon
Mm.
have been here for a long time. Like data is very, very. That's what a lot of people don't get. Even on
Yeah.
Party of Africa, we don't take a lot of information from people. We just log in with Google, a
Yeah.
platform that you already have, because a lot of these things play. You don't know which person have access to your data,
I know, right?
and also you are targeting UK members. You don't even give us privacy policy. We don't even know what you're using our
Exactly.
information.
That's true.
Like
Yeah. They
what
were
does that even
basically targeting diasporans, really.
diaspora people? Are you registered in the UK? Is your company registered here? You understand? So
Hmm.
there are a lot of things that wasn't clear. And then when I look at
Right.
the business model too, and
Yeah.
then technology and everything, and then when you see that they were going against their what do they call it? The promises they
They
have,
made
like
that
some
really
business.
puts me off.
Why
That
is
really
that?
puts me off.
So they were gliding. I've taught people countless of time,
Hmm.
big money don't push ideas. It doesn't matter. And you don't build ideas and dump it on people. You build ideas with people. In
Yeah.
parts of Africa, that's what we are doing. Everything we've built, everything we've been doing, I've been iteration with movie lovers and what they want, and we be iterating on it. You understand? Adding streaming, adding pay-per-views, there are things that but you have to understand your audience
Yeah.
and what they want. I don't know the market research they did,
I'm not sure they
but
made
for
any
me,
research, really.
I think for now it's just like an impulse. We have money to waste, and we have a lot of our friends that will talk about us.
Hmm.
And then I just, for me personally, as a tech person,
Yeah.
and based on what they've done currently, I think
Mm.
it's a disaster. Uh,
Disappointing, honestly, a disaster.
and they just need to like rework that platform and redo it, or
Do you
not
think
even
they
rework
will?
it.
Do you think they will rewatch
Shut
it?
it down
That was
and
what
just
that's the comments I
talk
gave.
to talk to YouTube, talk
Yeah.
to Apple TV,
Mm-hmm.
talk to Prime,
Yeah.
and put your movies there on rent. I rent movies and buy movies for my kids on Apple TV all the time, and I have the movies there forever. Saying
That's the
to
thing.
don't look up,
You buy a
you
movie
have
and
it there because it's in
24
your
hours.
account. So why do I have to create a new account, you know, to be able to have my movies library where I have my Apple TV already? I have my Prime already. I have
Yeah.
YouTube already. So just collaborate with them and put your movies there for buy or for rent. And
Yeah.
people will buy it. You don't need ego just to create another circuit TV because the market is trying to serve is already solved. They don't need to
Yeah.
solve it anymore.
Yeah.
I know what they can do that can work, but I won't say it here
Of
because
course. Maybe if they contact you, you'd give them your
if they
expert
do,
knowledge.
you understand? Because as part of Africa, we also we've been investigating
Mm-hmm.
on how we can do something that works for African content. You
Yeah.
understand? But I'm very you
But
understand.
there's
So
more. There's
and
more from where that came from.
but
So there are more
I'm not
ideas.
worried really
Yeah.
because the idea is this ideas are cheap. I've learned this, but it's delivery and the people that matters.
Yeah. To
So
push
the
it.
reason Patches of Africa is just few years, right? It's not even a
Yeah.
year. It's not even a year.
Yeah.
Look at how skyrocketed we've grown so much, and most of our things have gone so viral without a lot of input.
Yeah.
Is because we're connecting with people that really love what they're
What you're
doing,
doing. Yeah.
and then you build up on that. So, but then they're just like, let's throw money and faces on it. But problem can be solved in different way. What they want to solve is already solved. They just need partnership, not build circuit TV because circuit
Yeah.
TV doesn't need to exist, but it can solve a different
It was. It
problem.
was. It was
Not
just.
just like they are solving it the wrong way.
Yeah.
So what I just say to them for free is library already exists for selling movie and renting movies,
Mm-hmm.
which people in diaspora already have accounts on.
We have several that
Amazon,
we don't even need extra.
Prime, YouTube. Put
Mm-hmm.
those movies there. We will buy it there. And we'll have it there forever. And it's secured.
Are
No
you
one
sure
can
they'll
hack
do? Are you sure they'll listen? Because what I said, what I thought in my mind, and maybe I made a comment somewhere, is that after now they'll start to quote figures that they've made so far. And really, a few days ago, I saw where they said they've made about 100 and something thousand dollars since the website launched. I'm like, okay, so at the end of the day, it's all boils down to money. So what everybody is after is the money, not necessarily
the
solving a
quality.
problem. And the
They don't,
problem the industry is facing now is massive. There's the
yeah.
piracy issue and all of that.
So let's go back to the idea of money and the
Yeah.
issue we're having in the Nollywood right now.
Okay.
So, and then I want to bring out, I think we need to talk about Funke Akindele. She's had an amazing year.
Mm.
And I've had some conversation like with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think we talk about producers explosion and everybody is trying to be a producer. So, and then we are going to piggyback at casting and the issue that
Mhm.
upcoming actors are having contending with um, content creators. So, but let's start from here. Money.
Mm.
Do you think money is the root of most of the problem we are having in Nollywood right now? Why everybody wants to be the master of their own destiny and make their own money off Facebook because everybody's making the money, so I have to make the money. I'll give you an example. When Linda IKG blogging explosion started in Nigeria,
Everybody
if you
became a blogger.
everybody became a blogger. You understand? And then they mostly water down Link IKG at the end of the day. And then some people become big, some people become small. And then Post NG, some of them came in with a lot of money, but they were able to push through. And then we have, I think the big survivors were like
Yes,
Diabale.
Instablog.
Twitter blog came
Before
layered
Linda.
after because
Uh,
they went through social media. And
okay.
then Linda Ikeji was dying. growth because Instagram was rising up, right? Blogging was
Absolutely.
going down. So Instablog actually pick up the trend. So Instagram, those that came up with social media trend were Yaba left, Instagram, Gossip Mills. So all of those ones pushed this. So
Just lover
yeah, just about even came
is
came over,
recent.
yeah, recently because he dives on controversy and stuff like that. So the idea is that we've seen this reoccurrence every time. An idea works and makes money, Nigerian just smash into it. Are
Yeah.
we experiencing that money motivations in that industry right now? And it's causing all of these issues we're having.
I think the answer to that question pretty much is in the question, and you've probably answered about 50% of it. Even the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. So if you see that one actor becomes popular and the next thing he becomes a producer, of course it's like I can't be working for somebody and be a money making machine for them, and I won't have my own channel. I would mention him in this instance, Maurice Sam. Maurice Sam was like one of um, Ruth Kadiri's actors.
Breakout
She
stuff.
yeah, they did a lot of movies together. I think the first time I saw Maurice Sam was in Blood Sisters, Netflix's Blood Sisters, where he was the stuntman or the hired assassin or thereabout, and I think it went viral at the time where people were like, how can he be defeated with a man who was wearing a hat? So I think that was when he really became popular and he started acting with with Kadiri. So after a while, I remember any of the movies he featured in, I would always watch it. But then the next thing we saw was that he became a producer
Creative.
himself. It's not a bad idea, but the thing is that it's become so much now that because there's a saying that if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So it's
Yeah.
not just about you having access to cameras and people to carry the cameras and, like the way I put it, the voice to shout action, and then you've become a producer. You should have good stories to give out. I
Hmm.
think you mentioned the aspect of bloggers as Linda Ikeji became popular and she made fame and money from blogging. Other people became bloggers, even the ones who are to be bloggers and the ones who are not supposed to be bloggers, they all became bloggers. Some of them made it big and some didn't. Same thing happened to comedy.
Hmm.
Same thing happened to comedy. You have the likes of AY, Basket Mouth, I Go Die, I Go Save, all of them making names and waves at the time. And the next thing, it started to become skit making, from stand-up comedy to skit making. Now, as we speak, it's like skit making has become like a
So
manufacturing
people don't
avenue.
like because it's direct to the people.
Yeah,
A lot of
direct to the
people
people, and
don't
just few
stand up.
seconds,
Why
people
wait? Wait.
laugh and the people are making money. And the next thing you see, some of the skit makers, they are showing you their new houses and their new whips and their new things that they are able to do. Some of them, because you don't believe everything you see online, but there are some gullible people who would believe that some of these skit makers are able to build such ginormous mansions from
Sean G.
skit
Wagon.
making. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them may have other businesses that you would never know. So you see you see people who are upcoming skit makers struggling, getting depressed because their skits are not making it big as the other skit makers. Now, same thing is happening in the movie industry, where you're having lots and lots of producers everywhere coming up with movies and regurgitated stories and stories that we have seen before. But truth be told, there are barely new stories. Just like Aikwe Ama said in his book, The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born.
Yeah.
I believe same thing is happening in the industry as we speak, both Nollywood and Hollywood. In fact, most of the movie industries, they barely have news stories. It's
Hmm.
just about the plots and
Yeah.
how they are able to interpret the roles that matters at the moment. So you coming up as a producer and you're just bringing up the same storyline and sometimes repeated soundtracks, or even
Like
there are times when the location is even the same thing. because there
Yeah.
was one movie I watched on YouTube, and before I could say Jack, another movie rolled in. Guess what? It was same actors, same location, just a different story. But then you know how the story would end. So at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it boils down to one thing: money. It is money that is
Yeah.
the main focus. Everybody wants to make, because YouTube now appears to be like one of the biggest platforms to make quick money
Yes.
from. So long as you get your views, and so long as it is organic, because I understand that some persons buy these views just to impress or to pepper them. My
Prepare
movies have
them.
reached 1 million views and all of that. So for the ones who are organic, who get these organic views, of course they have their money at the end of the day. Big producers or people who have a big turnout of
In the
viewership, they
movie.
get this
Yeah.
money. So the answer to that question is the motivation is money, not
Yeah.
necessarily to give out good stories. It just, so, and this aspect rubs off on the ones who have good stories,
Yeah.
because some persons are not patient enough to watch those movies where people will sit down and put in so much money and
Yes. Yeah.
and then come up with good stories, and then the next thing you see people online bashing those movies and giving negative reviews. I've read reviews about some movies, and one thing about me is I don't get deterred easily from negative reviews. I will still watch that movie, and then sometimes it turns out that the movie is not the way they say it. It's
Other.
probably because of their own preferences and the way they perceive the movies. So for a producer who puts in so much work and so much effort, so much time and money into their production, and bring good stories, and they don't get as much views as the one who will just go to one place in Asaba and put two and two together and come up with one story, and then the next thing you are seeing lots of views. It's
Yeah.
discouraging, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's
For me,
discouraging.
I think like YouTube, it's a good thing that
Yeah.
happens to filmmakers, especially
Hmm.
in Africa,
Yeah.
Nigeria. Yeah, abuse is inevitable, but then that is the essence of Facebook, YouTube, right?
Yeah.
To democratize content creation, so that
How can it do
every
that?
yeah, democratize means that if you have a camera and you can shout, you can put something up there. Like YouTube doesn't care. So what
Mm.
it means is that can you talk? Do you have a camera or a phone in your hands?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it. So I think there's a level playground for everyone now. Even though the people that have like the big names, they can do
Mm-hmm.
recorded stories, they can copy people. Like, you can have an idea, they copy your ideas, they make it into a big movies, and you just be
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, it's my idea, but there's nothing you can do about it. But then it doesn't matter if you're a young movie maker
Mm-hmm.
today and you have an excellent idea, you can put it online too.
Don't you
And
don't you don't you think that this godfatherism, sort of to say, in politics also plays out in the industry, where I know this person who knows this person to push my movie, also
yeah,
comes into play when it comes to young producers who are just coming up, even though they have fantastic ideas. Don't you think
yeah.
it also affects, even though
So
there's that democratization?
yeah, there is definitely, and because we understand the complexity of Africa and Nigeria specifically, if we are talking of Nollywood, we all grow
Yeah.
from this country, we understand how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, for me particularly, we know all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot. Even some of these movie maker, they will tell you, I roll with my clique.
Mm-hmm.
I roll.
That click
This
thing.
is the reason why I stay with my people. We know
Yeah.
there are cliques, there are people, there are stuff
Yeah.
going on. You understand? But I think there will always be and that's one of the reasons why I love the idea of Party of Africa. Is a level playing ground. So we post and share content for everyone. It doesn't matter. Either
So
you're
what you do is you promote movies, right?
yeah, so
Have
we
your database.
show content to people and
Mm.
what you could watch. So right now we cover YouTube. And the reason why we pick YouTube is because it's everyone is there, right? So we look at the movie. Does it make sense? Is it great? You understand?
Mm.
So now we are working on the short film sections now to
Okay.
start promoting short films to give that voice for young people, filmmakers that want to get their voice heard. So there
Yeah.
have to be that platform. And because Party of Africa is not money motivated, we're not I've seen a lot of people that post about movies. They're like, okay, yeah, give us 10,000 naira, give us. They even go and we don't do that. We don't collect money from no one, nobody at all. So there is no influence. There is no godfatherism. There is no placement over anything. So we're having this platform that like discover amazing content coming out of Africa. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who made them.
Mm-hmm.
So that you guys can have choices, that
Mm.
they can make. You understand? So platform like this is needed to be able to play the level playground. There will always be monopoly. People want to hold strongholds. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But then there will be a platform that like tried to create a level playground, like Cycle TV, for instance, won't play a level playground. They just pick
I
some
thought
short note movies.
I
So
was
the matter how many idea is like if there is no these faces there, they won't put you on Cycle TV because they believe you won't sell because they are selling faces, they are not
mm,
selling stories and
mm,
fame. You understand? So
mm.
about you know Africa, you're like, we are selling you your
Your
brand because nobody
talent.
even know you yet.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So there's a couple of movies that is coming soon, like Heirloom and some other young producers that people have even know. But we
Mm,
just like put some resources their way to be able to give them that platform. And because we also post about these big names,
mm,
they leverage each other. Like, so if we post on our platform about Funke Akindele and he has like thousands of views, and then post another young person,
mm-hmm.
other people that have seen that Funke Akindele, either they interact or not, but they see that stuff,
Yeah. It's
that's something.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah.
So it counts. So
It
so
counts something,
that's
yeah.
the idea. The Godfather, that reason won't go away. I'm telling you. But then there have to just be some of us that can take risk, you know, and where money is good, but it's not everything. You
Mm.
understand? Because if I want to look at like let's beat Pages of Africa and money, Pages of Africa would be dead like 6 months ago. Because the platform itself costs a lot of money to
So
run.
so how do you get your funding?
It's self-funded,
Wow.
everything, and we've spent like millions of naira, like a lot. You understand? But it's self-funded. So, and I'm not even like, okay, I'm going to make money in the next 5 years. No, because what we are doing is a public good, right?
Mm.
Because a lot of our African content are basically scattered all over, you social media, Wikipedia, and stuff like that. But if
Yeah.
we can have a centralized Google platform for
Mm.
African content, it will take us time to get there. You understand? Take us time
Yeah.
because there are a lot of movies. But then in the next 2 years, we can have a library of digital assets that we can recommend movies to you in a way that you'll be surprised and wow. We are going to be adding AI, adding a lot of personalizations to it.
That's
If you are
promising.
sad, we give you a movie to watch. If you are heartbroken, we give you a movie to watch. If you
That's
just find
promising.
love, family, everything. And then we are going to be categorizing movie too. Like what is fit for
Yeah.
children, what's not fit for these things.
Children,
Like
yeah.
that's go deep into, some people just watch movies and you get to the movie like, oh but yeah, Moya, go to your rooms because you can't watch it.
Or you hold the remote and start fast
Or you don't
forwarding
need the movie, I
some
just fast
scenes
forward.
like our
So
parents used to do.
yeah, we can go a little more deeper to be able to give people context. Okay, yeah, your kids can watch this, yeah, they can watch this one, and stuff like that. So all of those works,
Mm.
money hungry producers or bloggers won't do that. It has to be mission driven.
Exactly.
You
That's the
understand?
thing. Yeah.
And that's
You have to
exactly
have
what we are doing.
purpose.
So this is
Mhm.
not like we are going to make money sharp sharp. No,
No.
this is a mission driven for social good. So
Yeah.
maybe in the future people can support us or we have organizations. I've worked in social sector before. If I want to raise money and funds, I know how to do it. But I don't
Right.
just want to start talking to investors yet. I want to build something that I've put my own neck
Platform.
and I've spent like, guys, I've done this for 2 years. I've spent 20 million on it. And I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea. Will you join me?
It's a
And
fantastic idea.
people were like, okay, yeah, if you have spent 20 million of your money on this, why can't we
Hmm.
raise, and then we can scale it up? You understand? So even now, we are building at a scale that we are building our new infrastructure for
Hmm.
data, that you have every digital point. You know who act in this movie, the actors, even the
Mm.
people that people don't talk about, the cameraman, the photographers, the soundmen, lightmen. Nobody talks about these people. It's just the actors, 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 actors all the time. So
I try to
yeah,
talk about
and we are
them.
going to be highlighting all of, even for you, it's going to be a good asset for you because you can see the graph. Like
Mm-hmm.
you on this movie, you see everyone that act the movie, the studios, their
Yeah, the
information, the
cast.
actors,
Yeah.
the crew, the cast, all of those things. So
I
that's what we
think
are doing.
IMDb does that in some of the
Yeah.
movies that I've seen. And
So
it's quite clever.
we want to like, yeah, just I'm saying that it's like this IMDb work,
Yeah.
and then Rotten Tomatoes work, because we want audience review. We want people to be able to reviews. Before, we want to be having our own reviews ourselves. No, I told you before,
Yeah, you've
but
mentioned
like
that.
it doesn't scale. We can't be reviewing every movies. We have you and other people that are doing the job already. We just need to
Mm-hmm.
create a platform that
Yeah.
empower you guys to do it more. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to have a
Nice.
platform that highlights. So we're going to have like certified reviewers like you if you have an account. So you're going to be like certified. So when you review, your review
That's
is
good.
given priority at the
Mm.
top of every movies you review, so people can see it
Interesting.
more and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So and then create more brand awareness for critics. Maybe
Mm.
from there we can have a more organized critics and reviews support.
Yeah.
Even we want to add donations. So if you are a review, people can you can have donation to your reviews,
All
like
right.
support what Lizzie is doing on
Okay.
this. You
Makes
can put
sense.
your PayPal or your
Mm-hmm.
subscribe or swipe something there. It's your money. People can support you with it.
Oh,
So those are the things that we want to do. And as times goes on, we can then do it for the crew too, because crews don't make a lot of money. But if I like the cinematographer from a movie and I want to tip that cinematographer, how do I do it? We
mm-hmm.
can do it for Africa. Even we can still even do it for Funke Akindele. Like you are so overwhelmed with everybody's not Jennifer. Send us some flowers too. And it doesn't matter. Like filmmakers are going through a lot, to make these films. You
Yeah.
understand? And we need to be able to appreciate them. So a lot of them in the industry don't really get what we are doing about South Africa. And I'm like, these guys, but we are still getting a lot of support. Like Omoni Oboli have collaborated with us.
That's good.
Shimeze collaborated with us.
Chimeze,
Daniel,
imo.
yeah, we had like 12,000 reactions from a post on IG. We've
Mm.
had like Femi Adebayo have sent us messages severally appreciating
Mm.
us. Toya Imaku have appreciated us. We've had conversations with Mercy Aigbe. We did some design for her. She didn't pay
Wow.
us, but we did it. Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, it's one of the things that you said, okay, yeah, people have started to like appreciate the work we are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's good.
we've keep our platform 100% professional, which is hard to do because it's hard for you to get traction in Nigeria if you don't post about the life and gossips of the actors and actresses. And one of the vision that I have from day one for Project Love is that for all my team members and everything,
Mm-hmm.
no backbiting, no personal life, is the work, the act in the movies. That's all. You understand?
Good. Good.
That somebody did this no. If it's not in the movie, if it's not on the films or the story and news around it, we
Mm-hmm.
don't concern about it is outside the movie world, we don't know.
Yeah, I
And
think it pretty much aligns with the vision that I have as well. Cause was it this morning or last night? Yeah, it was last night. I was like this new guy, a VDM, very dark man. He's all this viral stuff that has come up quite recently. I was like, in recent times, I hardly want to talk about anything aside actors, actresses, and movies. But for this particular one, I just felt like I needed to lend my voice because it feels like he was acting and something like that. So yeah, I love your vision and it
yeah.
aligns. Yeah, it sits well with me.
So let's go to the second part of this conversation.
Okay.
And it's one of the things that actually, that I really care about. And it's
Mhm.
about, we've talked about the money motivations, which is
Yeah.
not bad in
Mhm.
itself, but uh, everybody jumps into blogging. Everybody's now the producers and stuff like that. All of the bloggers are star student. They are bringing in content creators. What is the future for trained actors, actresses across the country? All of them are now having academy, film academy, and stuff like that. They don't use these people in their movies. When they want to make their movies, they bring in these content creators that have million followers. What do you think about that?
Well, to answer that, I feel that because what they do is mostly following the trend. Because if you look at the way they came up with different Christmas movies this December, you would wonder. So speaking about the future of Nollywood, we're just here watching and seeing how it goes. I have some reservations, to be honest. If the industry continues the way it's going, one, I fear for the mental health of these actors and actresses, because it's not easy cramming these scripts. Because I ask myself, how are they able to put these scripts in their head and act these movies such that you see one person in a movie in like 7 movies in 1 week? I've been opportunity to be in a live session with Shazni Okawa, the Cameroonian actress. It was a lovely time with her, and I was able to get some insights. And I asked one question I asked her was how, if she has some time to rest at all. And she shared some things with me that she had to be intentional about it.
Hmm.
And I believe that not many of them would be that intentional. Some of them will be like, okay, now I have this platform, now I have this opportunity that I get called every now and again for movie roles. This opportunity may just pass me by if I turn down roles and all of that and be like, oh, I'm not available today because I want to rest and things like that. So you see them taking up these roles even though they need the rest.
Yeah.
One, they need the rest physically,
So
they
what
need
about
the
like
rest.
I'm touching on like upcoming actors and actresses. Though if they are
Okay.
looking for roles and never get
Uh-huh.
roles, because when you need like a gates man in a
Okay, yeah.
blockbuster movie,
Mm-hmm.
you just prefer to use Sabinos instead of using an upcoming actors that can get a first shot. You know,
Yeah.
even minor roles are not even available for upcoming anymore. They are using content creators that have millions of followers instead of
Yeah,
doing.
I've seen it a lot. I've seen it a lot. I think it's just one of those challenges that people would always face. And I believe that even the well-known faces we have now, the veterans, if they tell their story for when they also started, some of them will tell you how they spent hours on queues just waiting to audition for movie
Yeah.
roles before they could have their big breaks. So not everyone who intends to go into the movie industry would eventually get
Yeah,
the
but I think the
opportunity.
point is that even then there were no content creators to compete with then.
The,
Now the competitors is even
you
fierce.
you know why they would employ the services of the content creators. One is because of the full massive followership that those
Yeah,
content creators have, and they believe that if they feature those content creators, those skit makers in their videos, and they post them on their platforms, it will attract viewerships, and that at the end of the day will fetch them money and
but
give
yeah,
them back the investment they put into the project. So it at the end of the day boils down to money, really. And
mm,
everybody would want to use an actor that will give them back the investment or the money that they put into the production. So yes, it will affect upcoming actors. So what people just have to do is just make yourself stand out. And like you said, Facebook, YouTube have sort of given that platform for everyone, so
yeah,
you could be seen easily. It's not like back in the day where this platform wasn't there, where the likes of Kate Henshaw, Iniedo, Genevieve and Naji came up to limelight. I'm
yeah,
sure
true.
that they've made their own sacrifices. But these days it's not as difficult as that, even though more persons now want to go into movie production. Because
Yeah,
we talked about something where parents back in the day would hardly want their children to engage in certain careers or pursue certain careers because they feel like education is the first thing that they should pursue. But many
mm,
parents now have a different
yeah, because they can see
ideology,
the
because they have seen the impacts that these platforms
money.
have given to people: boxing, music, acting, and all of that. So many parents would want to allow, they will give their children the go ahead to be like, I am fully behind you.
So it's fine.
So,
You can
but
do it.
so there are many people who would want to go into acting, but at the end of the day, like just like the scripture says, many are called, few are chosen.
Yeah.
So not everyone get that platform. So they should just
Mm.
find a way to bring themselves out. You have platform, Facebook doesn't restrict. You can get the platform and start to show your talents bit by bit. Somebody might just see you, I'm like, oh, this talent is good. I want you in my production. And there you
Mm.
go. So it's
That's
about
true,
selling
actually.
yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point to make there, because like now that means like if you want, just create your own content too, and
Mm-hmm.
then maybe they can see the potential, because maybe the way people are being recruited for movies has been
Yeah.
is changing now.
It's
So
changing.
because
Yeah, it's the
some of
industry is revolving.
they are
Or
professionals,
evolving, yeah.
actors
Mm-hmm.
who are not like content creators, they can't create content,
Yeah.
but there are also like actors who have to use content creators creations to get, you know, just like one of the person I admire a lot is Force the bad
Oh,
guy, right?
Fast the bad guy. Mm.
When he started music, he didn't start dropping his music. He started with this funny English content he was doing,
I
and that
love
thing caught
Fast.
fire, went viral, and then he just
Yeah.
dropped his song.
With Simi as well. Remember he did
Yeah,
Soldier with Simi, Jam Question with Simi. I would never
yeah, yeah,
forget this
yeah.
collaboration. At some
So
point I felt they were going to get married.
yeah,
Just so you know,
so
if Adekunle came and stole the show.
yeah. But I think Adekunle had been in the picture from that time. It was just like a
But
very
we
big
didn't know.
strategy. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't know. So it's a very well executed strategy. There was
Yeah.
something that Eniolua said some times ago.
Okay.
I was looking. That was what I was looking for. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a quote he talked about
Mm.
uh the industry and why people are doing so many movies. He talked about the mental health and stuff,
Yeah.
because the pay in the industry is not much, so you have to do a lot of work, to cover for it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he mentioned something that if you use upcoming stars in a
Yeah.
blockbuster,
Mm-hmm.
okay, for instance, an upcoming stars, we're using him for candidates for blockbuster,
Mm-hmm.
and after that blockbuster, she became popular and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't translate to the money and wealth and the lifestyle that she in. She had to go to the premiere, expensive clothes, everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then because she doesn't have savings or any money that can use to support that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it could be a serious issue for the person.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But these content creators, for instance, they've made a lot of money already. They are fine. So, like, let's say example for Kamo, for instance. Kamo State is now being used in movies and stuff like that.
Mm.
So
Okay.
Kamo State has had success creating content.
Mm.
He has some money. He's fine. You understand?
Mm.
So he's not struggling to get a role. So what happened if that upcoming is not able to get back-to-back roles? Because if you're not able to get back-to-back roles and
Mm-hmm.
sustain that success,
Mm-hmm.
you must just be a famous poor upcoming, and that can even lead to more depression. What do you think about that?
I think people shouldn't put their eggs in one basket, really. Because if you just put your mind in the movie industry and that's what you use to make your money, I think you would
Yeah.
struggle more. So you should have like a backup plan because nobody knows tomorrow. And I believe that most of these big producers and actors, I'm sure they all have, some of them have other businesses that they do that
Mhm.
fetches them money to pump or invest into movie production. So what I would advise is for people to have a backup plan and not just put your mind in getting money or getting the fame from movie production or sorry
A
or
lot.
acting alone. Yes. So for me, for instance, I like you said, you have your vision where you don't rely on people, sponsors, and all of that. You just enjoy what you're doing, and if in
Mhm.
the long run you don't make as much money, you have a vision to profile that solution for African platform and provide that level fair playground for people to have that access to movies
Mm.
and reviews and the crew and crew members and all of that information about them. So yeah, it's pretty much the same where because and you can do this because you have another source of income, right?
Yeah.
So if you didn't have another source of income, you would see yourself, okay, I need sponsors. You would see yourself contacting the likes of Kunle Afolayan, or even when Tony Abraham, you did some jobs for her, you would see yourself maybe billing her and all of that.
Like, yeah,
So
money, 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 and then
you'll
you
be
run
like,
away.
money, money. I've had a few producers chat me up, and we've had some discussions, and some have asked, how much do you charge for movie promotion? And I'm at a loss as to what to even say, because that's not like the first thing why I started my platform. I'm just making researches now. So upcoming actors and actresses should have a backup plan. Yeah, they shouldn't rely on just the movie industry, because there are lots and lots of talents coming up. Lots and lots of talents coming up. So if you want to rely on it, you might just get that depression, really, if
Yeah,
you don't get that back to back call for movie roles. And that's another thing why some of you see some really good talents, and you see them in some movies, and you be like, why will this person feature in this kind of a movie? Did they read the script at all? Did they read the story at all? Why did they accept this project? I believe it's that fear. Bless you. I believe it's that fear of being relegated to the background, or fear of losing the fame. So they'll take up any project that comes their way. But for you see some actors, once you see their face on any poster, you are 90% guaranteed that that movie would make sense. And I think those ones do not just take up any movie role. I think they sort of select people often. Okay, is it the write up from Eniola?
yeah,
Okay, yeah. So those ones, I'm sure, have other businesses that fetch them money, so they don't rely solely on what they're able to get from their acting business. So the upcoming ones should take a cue from that, and try. I know it's not easy in the Nigerian economy and the Nigerian environment. It's sort of difficult. You see people who really have that talent, but they don't have the opportunity. You see them striving. So that's why I said Facebook now, so long as you have access to data, you can always put yourself out there and be consistent. Because when I started, I remember I posted something one day, a lengthy write up, because my write ups can hardly be short. I try sometimes to just make it short. So I put up a
yeah,
write up about something, and somebody just, less than few seconds that I uploaded that write up, the next thing the person said was, after all this copy and paste, you still don't have any view, madam. No comments, no likes. I remember reacting to that person in a way that yeah, I think he had to go and rethink his life, because it was a back to back. I was ready for that person that day. So if I didn't have a backup, I would have been depressed
yeah,
on that. But I didn't relent. I continued, and I've been consistent, God willing and God giving me strength. And then at some point last month, I had to take a break and focus on something. And I am back now. And having come back, I discovered that the pace was not as at when I left. I
yeah,
had to continue being consistent again, and it's beginning to pick up bit by bit. So that consistency should be there. So if you're an upcoming actor, actress, put yourself out there. Don't just rely on being called for movie roles. Otherwise, you would get the heat of it.
yeah.
Put
I think
yourself
one,
out there, and people who recognize your talents will come for you.
yeah, one of the things I took out from this conversation is that I said the industry currently can't support as many newcomers
Nah,
as people might expect, because
yeah,
realistically, many of them won't be able to meet even their basic needs. No one wants to be famous and financially unstable. There's a lot of layers and truths
mm,
into this and what makes our industry. Aside from that, a lot of upcoming don't understand privileges too. You understand?
mm-hmm,
So there are some stars in Nigerians that have some privileges.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
So upcoming should be able to understand that there are privilege that some people have, and if you're not in that circle of privilege, it can be very difficult for you.
yeah,
So, so for and also there is a threat in which people who are established also have, and they don't even want newcomers because feel like this money, let's guard it, like because it gatekeeping, right?
mm-hmm,
It's just like what Nei said. So this also can come like no, maybe you should just stand back first. Let's enjoy our money. Because you can look at the industry right now, it's like all of them have surrounded themselves and they
Yeah.
get the place.
They have their
So
clique of actors and actresses.
yeah, so there's a brand cycle gatekeeping right now
Hmm.
that is hard for you to just break a wall as a newcomer to do, except you have to do like look at Lai. Lai
I
came
WhatsApp, yeah.
with content creations and it was just unique and different that they don't have a choice
Than to
than
bring him in.
they now bring him in.
And
You
that's the
understand?
thing about putting yourself out there. You see,
Yeah,
he put himself out there, and
yeah.
they saw him. And like I said, some producers have chatted me up, and they're like, "Wow, your review is amazing." I remember the producer and director of Atunwa. I'm not sure you've seen that. Have you seen that one?
I've not
Atunwa
seen
on
that one, but I know it's on Prime Video, right?
from Prime Video, yes. The director and producer, he's in the US. I think somebody saw that review and tagged both him and somebody else. When I saw the tag, I was like, okay. I clicked on one of the handles. The person had about 48,000 followers or thereabout. I was like, wow. And then by the evening of that day, there was a message that says, contact me and all of that. So we spoke at length. He's in the US. So if I was not putting myself out there, I'm not sure they will see that review. And many other persons have been contacting me. And when this kind of things happen, you know for sure that you're on the right path. So they should put themselves out there. All this, but the producers can't really bring in all the newcomers. You
Yes.
understand? They can't fund it. And most of them, business is about risk taking, and not all
Yeah.
of
You
them
don't
would
want to
want to
gamble
take that risk and put
for a
a
new
new
face.
face, and it doesn't fetch as much money for them. I think Ruth Kadiri is doing an amazing job when it comes to bringing in new faces, and
Yeah.
those faces are doing some amazing job as well, but she can only bring as much as she cannot bring in everyone. And the thing again is because many of these people have seen that acting is become easy. It has become easier for people to go into as opposed to back in the day. So a lot of them, even if they don't have the talent, and no, these producers don't want to be stressed. You don't have the talent to act. You just came on site and you want to audition and all of that, and you make an act and it doesn't even make sense, and they turn you away. You're like, oh, they don't like my face and all of that. You must ensure you have that talent before approaching a
Mm.
producer that you want to act. It's not just about because you see somebody doing it, oh, I can, if this person could do it, then I can also do it. So you must ensure that it's the right path for you. Otherwise you struggle. Otherwise you get called less for movie roles, and then the next thing it turns to depression. Oh, they don't like me, that's why. Or it's because I'm Igbo, tribalism kicks in. Ensure that you have the talent and have a backup plan.
What do you think about him? It's been an incredible year.
Sorry?
Chimeze.
Oh, Chimezie has been, from when he featured in Breath of Life, I knew that he would go places. He featured in Breath of Life with the other actor. I've forgotten his, oh my god, me and names. They bagged several awards from
Genevieve.
that movie, and he has been doing amazingly well. And he featured in top movies this year, top cinema movies, ELJ, Everybody Loves Jennifer, Alakada, Ghetto, is it a Ghetto Story? Ghetto Love
Yeah,
Story.
so a ghetto story. Everybody didn't and I like that.
He's in
So
all of them. He's been
yeah,
doing well, honestly, and he looks quite humble and ready to work. He's like, I am ready for this work. You see it all in him. If this thing is inborn, if it's inherent, you struggle less.
yeah.
Struggle less.
It's really amazing. I think he's one of the uh people that, and I love the fact that he's focusing on his heart. He's
Yeah,
not doesn't want to distract himself right now. And I want to produce, have my own TV, YouTube channels and stuff like that.
shouldn't
It's working
please.
for him. He's gotten some nice deals, which I
Mm-hmm.
think will keep him afloat to focus on acting and
Yeah,
stuff. And I really love, so it's would be like a great influence for a lot of upcoming, like a top.
upcoming ones. Yeah.
So this, I think, Chimeze have just shown us that it's possible
Mm.
because I think he said in one of his interview that when he like auditioned for Breath of Life. He was not
Yeah.
even sure. When
He
they
will get
called him,
the
he was
ring.
like, "What me?" You can know that the story is real, and I think is one and is an outlier and a beacon for a lot of upcoming who really care about acting.
Yeah.
That you can make something in the industry. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter gate pain or stuff like that. If you're
No.
good at what you're doing, there is a
If
chance.
you're good, you're good. A
Yeah,
good
you'll
talent
get
sells itself.
mm.
And many of the actors that have become producers now, it has taken off some opportunities where they would have featured in movies that would have made it bigger, because some of them are better actors than producers, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, because they are now preoccupied with a lot of things.
Yeah, I would mention name Frederick Leonard. When before he became a producer himself and has focused more on producing his own movies, I love him as an actor, and his wife as well, the Deltan lady. I love them as a couple. And when he was featuring in movies that were produced by other producers, he was doing well. His physique, and I still say it till date, he is yet to feature in a movie that best suits his charisma, his builds, and
Yeah,
his
he's really solid.
courage, his persona. Yeah, he is yet to feature in that movie, and that kind of movie would be like a cinema worthy movie, Netflix Prime Video. But right now, he has delved into producing his own movie. I'm not really impressed with what
I
he's
think
doing with
he's
his movies.
he probably just playing it safe. I'm making my money here. I'm fine. I
Oh,
can make
that's the thing. So at the end of the day, again, it's all money. So when he features in movies produced by others, he does really well, I remember why I love him as an actor. But most of his own produced movies, especially the ones he does with I don't have anything against her, Sarian Martin. To me, it has become, that click thing again, where each of the
yeah.
producers have their set of actors and actresses. It also impacts on the stories. Some of the actors are not best suited for some stories, but then because that's the click you have, you'd have to use them for those stories. And at the end of the day, it's not playing quite smoothly, becomes very mechanical and all of that. So it affects a lot of things, really.
So let's talk about the all-time highest grossing Nollywood movies.
Ding.
Can you see the screen I just shared now?
Yeah, I can see it. I think the last time it was for diaspora, it was by $194,000 so far for
Yeah. So
diaspora. I
this is
don't know about now.
actually yeah
Oh, yeah.
Nollywood.
Oh, okay. In
So these
Nigeria.
are Nigerian numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So
For ELJ.
yeah. So ELG right now is at number two.
Oh, which is number one? Is it still a tribe called Judah?
Yeah, a track called
Oh,
is still at 1.4 billion.
that's
Uh,
because it's the
yeah.
former.
So ELJ has risen, entered its like it actually entered top 10 a weekend. You understand?
Yeah, I saw that.
And
That was a big one.
displaced, yeah, Malaika. And now in the top four, we have all of Funke Akindede's work.
Mm. That's
What do
a
you think? Like,
big.
what, what's the magic? What's the, and I
The,
want to put a caveat here.
sorry.
All the reviews I've
Yeah.
seen of Funke
Uh,
Akindede's ELJ has been below par. So, but then this movie is doing extremely well in cinema. So I'm like the reviews because I've seen Nolly Critic, I've seen Daniel Insa or something. I've not
yeah, Daniel Insa.
okay. You've not seen it because you still I
I've
don't suppose
seen
you have
I've
seen
seen
it.
Daniel Insa's works. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, so it's like 2.5 or something. That was
Yeah, he
quite
gave 2.5/5, but I didn't read
so
everything because I don't want it to
yeah
influence anything.
yeah. So uh, I'm just like, but let's leave the review first. Like
Hmm.
let's talk about an amazing work she's doing in terms of cinema release itself. What do you think about? Yeah.
I would say she has mastered her niche. She has mastered it and she has it on lockdown. That's the way I would say it. Funke Akindele is a businesswoman. Yeah. She knows her targets and she goes for her targets. She knows that people love her, and she's maxing out on that.
Mm-hmm.
And even if the movie is having low reviews online, I haven't seen it yet. I have seen A Tribe Called Judah. I didn't get. I've not reviewed it because before I watched it was when it came out on Prime Video.
Prime
That
Video,
was when
yeah.
I watched it, and at the time I already have other movies to review. I didn't watch it when people were watching it, so I think sort of died out a bit. So many persons have asked me to review, but I think maybe I would find the time to.
Mm.
So for ELJ, I haven't been able to see ELJ because first of all, it's in the cinemas, and it's in the cinema in London, and it's very restricted. The cinemas, the Nollywood movies coming to cinemas in the UK, we don't have them in all the cinemas, so
Yeah,
it's
just specific places.
yeah, specific places. So that is really a challenge. I've gone to see Moana 2 with my kids because it was in the Cineworld cinemas near us here, so I could go see that. If ELJ was in one of the cinemas near us here, I would have gone to see it.
Yeah,
So
I
I've not
don't
been able
think
to see that.
they don't believe they can scale that up. They just want
They
like,
can, they
because you know
can.
what it means to release movie in all screens across the UK. It's a lot of
Strategic.
it's a
I
lot
want
of
to
budget.
believe. I want to believe that it should be strategic release. They
Yeah,
they they, they would have. Yeah,
they can do in
they can
one city.
contact contact data analysts to get the data of where most Africans are based in the UK.
Yeah,
That could be a target. So if you get, like, you have Birmingham, you have Manchester, you have Leeds, you have is it Bristol or Bristol now? Then of course you have London. London is like the Lagos of Nigeria.
yeah,
So if they can diversify and come towards, because I'm in the northeast, they can come towards this way. We have lots of Africans here, and many people love Jennifer. Whether the movie makes sense, that cinematic experience for
experience and
people
G
is one thing. It's not just about whether the movie will be so good or
or
not,
not.
but because they
Mm.
love Jennifer and they want to go, maybe like when she came to the UK, that meet and greet is also something. Taking a photo with her, all these are strategies she puts together. You understand? And when I see the likes of Stan Nze, that guy needs a pay rise, or is he paid? Yeah. He
Yeah,
needs to be paid more, because if you see the way Stan Nze is carrying this ELG on his head, he's practically hawking hawking the movie. When I see him on Instagram, you see him doing skits and videos just to promote the
all
people,
the cast have been doing
encourage
a
people.
good job, really.
Sorry.
All the cast have been doing a lot of work to do it.
Yes, all the cast, the likes of Omoumi Dada, Bisola Yola, oh my God,
Yeah,
Patience Ozokwo, the Ghana lady, oh my God,
yeah.
they are doing well. So all of these things, it's about being intentional, really. So she sat down and has mapped out these things. That's why I said she has mastered her craft. She has
Do you
mastered
think
this whole
if
thing.
yeah if Funke Akindele release 6 more movies
Yeah,
in cinema, do you
yeah.
think she'll be the only top 10 in Nigeria?
Um, they say never say never. I want to believe that there are other people who are not relenting as well, and it depends on how often she releases these movies, because there's what they call that um equilibrium level.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that level of equilibrium where a certain you get to a certain point where there will
she
be that
just
decline.
yeah
So if she starts, and that's what is affecting some producers, if you start releasing the movies back to back, you will not get as much impact. And that's one thing, that's one strategy I believe she has also honed on, where she releases movies at strategic times of the year, so people are looking first of all towards her before others. You understand?
mm,
But the likes of Femi Adebayo sort of took us unawares, where he released Seven Doors in the midst of all of this, and people, and Netflix is readily available, so people watched that,
yeah,
and
because
I was pleased
it
to
went
see
for a different kind of audience. So
audience. Yeah, so people watch that. And cinema, it's not as if you go to the cinema and you sleep there. Of course, you go back to your house, so you still get to see the one on Netflix and all the rest. So if she wants to release 6 more movies, she may not make as much impact.
no, I'm not saying that back to back. I'm like, if she continues to do the way it is, because
Yeah,
now our movie is 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Yeah,
she
I've
just needs
seen it.
6 more movies,
To make the top 10.
and she'll just be Funke Akindele on the top 10.
I'm not sure they'll give her a chance because the competition is hot. The competition is high, and I don't think people are relenting. People
Yeah,
are
people
doing
are
their
not
homework.
relenting, but right
People
now,
are
do
doing
you
their
think
homework.
anyone? She's made
Releasing. Hmm.
she's made 783 million naira in two
Yes.
weeks, and
Uh,
no movie in Nigeria released this period,
has
even this
made that
year,
much.
have done that number.
She keeps coming up with different ideas, and
Yeah,
she's sort of like a pioneer in different using different strategies. Like the boxes she sent to people for the invite and all
yeah.
of that, they're quite impressive. So I think if she wants to do that, she still has some tricks up her sleeves that she may just pull. So
For me,
never
I
say
think
never.
Funke is a positive impact on the Nigerian movie industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a lot of people don't see it that way. People feel like she's monopolizing the market. But I think she's
It's
giving the
not.
drive for the cinema altogether, because
Mm-hmm.
her effect, it's like people now go to the cinema like because of Jennifer is there, and they see
Yeah,
other things. Like,
yeah.
I
So
feel in a way it's
she's
boosting
reviving.
everybody.
Yeah, she's
But let's
reviving
be
that cinema
frank.
experience.
Yeah, let's be frank now. There is
Mm-hmm.
something I want to say about the movies that came out this period and timing.
Yeah.
The Waiter by AY, Thin
Uh-huh.
Line by Messi Aigbe,
Aigbe.
and then
Alakada.
Lakada by
Alakada by Tony Abraham, yeah.
Toya Abraham. Yeah.
Abraham,
So
yeah.
now the concept is this. Do you think the timings of those movies are right?
Like Jennifer would say, the sky is big enough for all the best of fluid. Let me
That is
put
like
it.
a woke statement, like politically correct, right?
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is
It's
that
just
when
being
I
politically
saw
correct.
when I saw the posters and the dates of their releases, I was quite concerned
Yeah.
because truth be told, we know producers who pull weights. You
Yeah.
understand? I'm not trying to underrate anyone's efforts, but the thing is that you see some producers and you see their followership and the response people have towards the posts that they post online, then you would know who would pull more weight than the other. Are you getting my point now?
Yeah.
So I was quite concerned when I saw the
The
dates,
lineup. Mm.
the lineup and the dates. ELJ, Everybody Loves Jennifer, was released same day as Thin Line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Messi Agbe's Thin Line, and then the following week
The
was
Waiter. The
Tony Abraham's Alakada
Yeah.
and
The Waiter.
AY's The Waiter. So what I said to myself was, if anybody is going to the cinema to watch these movies, it's like, okay, I'll use today and watch these two movies. I spent 4 hours in the cinema. But then at the end of the day, how much is the tickets? I didn't really go
Yeah.
as far
All
as
blockbusters, they are expensive tickets.
they're expensive tickets. And then you look at the Nigerian economy, how people are complaining because when you call back home, there's hardly any person who says, "Oh, don't worry, we are fine."
Anything you have,
big
just say.
Big T is taking good care of us. You hardly hear anybody say that. And then you wonder how these people are able to go to the cinema, and then you wonder
Yeah.
how she was able to get this amount of money. Sometimes I'm tempted to think, are these figures really real?
Real. Yeah. I know people think that.
Yeah, I think about it. I'm like, are they just quoting? Excuse me. Are they just quoting the figures for quoting sake? But
Yeah.
because I try not to believe everything I see online. So, and then you see people who you believe that Nigerians, okay, the struggle is real. People can barely eat, can barely feed, and they have enough data to go online. How do they do these things? And who are these people who are going to the cinema to see all of this? It's not just about the figures. When they show the
Yeah.
videos, you see people at the cinema trying to take photos with the for the meet and greet and all of that. So I'd say that the figures may not just be fabricated. They I believe they are
Yeah.
real.
So a lot of people
And
have
and,
said I've said
and I,
that maybe the numbers are not true and stuff like that. But I think the
so I
numbers are
thought,
the numbers are actually true. in a way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there must be these people, but the numbers are true.
Because
But let me
if you look at her PR, you would see that she spends
a lot of money on that.
a
Yeah,
lot for
I think
marketing alone.
we will come back to that, but I want to share my opinion. I don't want to just
Okay.
think if you agree with it.
Yeah.
So if you look at AYD waiter,
Mm-hmm.
the content of the story and everything, I
Have
don't
you
think
watched
it's
it?
interesting. I've not seen it. I've seen the trailer. I'm not
Okay.
in Nigeria. I think it's in cinema in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So I've seen the trailer, synopsis and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's about his action, it's about hostage situation and corruptions and stuff and politicians and everything.
Don't
You
me.
know, that is not Christmassy movie to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think that movie is not Christmas movie. So that movie is a summer kind of movie.
Okay.
If that movie comes out in June or July,
Mm-hmm.
it will have been great. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Because
Yeah.
what message is trying to pass across is about corrupt politicians that are in hostage situations, you
Mm-hmm.
understand, and stuff like that, but people that are annoyed about it. But why nobody is even talking about angry politicians this period because people are just tired of talking. So you could have put that movie in a period of time that people are angry at politicians, and it happens most of the times in summer period.
In the summer.
You know, that's the time everybody's head is like, okay, who is angry because the sun is
Angry.
warm, and then we can like, who can we devote? You know, you can put that
And then
thing
all
in
the
those
anger.
periods. Now, secondly, Thin Line is a love story, deceptions, so lies, romance, and stuff like that. That is a Valentine story. Why can't you just wait for February and just
Okay.
release Thin Line? Thin
Okay.
Line will be a sellout in
In
February.
February.
Alakada and uh, Jennifer, they are perfect for December period.
Mm.
And then both of them can split the money, and both of them will have good money to make. And then the waiter will just wait for July. Toya and Messi Aigbe will just wait for February because that is a love story, and and all of them will just make them money. So I don't know how they do their planning and how they do the analysis and assess. So this is just like me just thinking without even looking at numbers. But
Yeah.
looking at the context of the movie itself, you can
Yeah.
know the movie for time and season, and when people will resonate with that movie and talk about it the
Yeah.
most.
In as much as that is true, I want to believe that December, not everybody is a Christian, right? Not
Yeah.
everybody celebrates Christmas. So
Mm.
all the movies mustn't be about Christmas just because it's
Yeah.
December.
Everybody makes Jennifer is not a Christmas movie. Jennifer just make it a Christmas movie.
Yeah, yeah, she did. She did
That
with
is
the Christmas song.
yeah. So that's what we are talking about. Everybody love Jennifer is not a Christian movie. It's not even a Christmas movie.
Okay.
She just Christmatize it, just like Coca-Cola.
Christmas,
Yes, now
Christmas. It.
Coca-Cola Christmatize Santa Claus. They gave us Santa Claus and the red clothes and red whites. It was Coca-Cola's idea.
Right.
It's not like the blood of Jesus or anything. No, it was Coca-Cola that Christmatized Christmas because
Christmas in
Christmas was so
Nigeria.
boring long time ago. So
Mm,
Coca-Cola want to sell their drinks even in winter. So how can
mm.
we sell more sugar when people are cold? And they came out
Yeah.
there with Santas and parties and they make it fun. So it
Okay.
was so Funke Akindele Christmatize it. But then we all know that joy, fun, and everything comes with Christmas. And then it has been the theme. You understand? So why
Yeah.
will I come to a gunshot and hostage situation on Christmas Day? Like it doesn't just work. So you have to look at market. That's what Funke do. Funke movie is not a Christmas movie.
She
She wrap
just
it.
added the Christmas elements.
That's the point. But you can't
Understood.
wrap the waiter. The waiter can be wrapped, but it's just that you have a bigger contendant. So just move it to summer, and then me, I'll just be doing teaser now,
Mm,
you know, and she could have just been an amazing hit. And who look at Queen Latifah for instance.
mm-hmm.
Queen Latifah was a cinema success because of
The
good
time of
timing.
release. Mm.
That's all. Because timing is very, very important. You
I get
know,
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But who knows if these people have other projects to come next year and they don't want to pile up these ones and at the end of the day they struggle to meet up next year because people look forward to other projects to handle. They don't just sit one place. or sit down after releasing one. So how
Do
about
you know,
you?
if you look at a timeline of the shooting of the waiter and the
Yeah,
release,
yeah.
do you know the timeline? It's less than 3 months from shooting to release.
People that are releasing movies now that are using 1 week to shoot
That's what I'm
movies.
saying. So the waiter, they probably rushed to release it. That's what I'm saying. This is not that people have other projects they want to do. There's nothing wrong that the waiter can't wait. That movie can wait. It can wait just because it was just short, pam, 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 because I have to remove a Christmas movie. That's it.
So do you feel that this will also impact on, of course, he's already complaining that he's not having as much viewership
Yeah,
and
because it's for me, I think I don't know, maybe he's gonna watch this or not. But the real truth is that she is playing victim of his own doing. So it's a self-inflict damage that AY did.
for
Do you know?
me, for
You know why
me,
I say that? Let me give you an
no.
example. You know why I
Okay.
say that? For
Mm-hmm.
10 years, AY ruled stand-up comedy in Nigeria.
Aspac stand-up comedy.
You can't do shows. Everybody wait for his shows.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put your shows on the same day or second day on the same month with AY. You won't sell. If AY understand this, so why are
Yeah.
you coming to an industry when you see someone that is a giant of that industry, like you were 10 years ago in comedy, but you want to go head to head with it? It doesn't work. Like,
But
imagine Basketball said, AY Live is next week. My own show is a week before or on the same day.
uh-huh.
Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't do that. So it's a business principle that he understands, but he just blind spotted it like, don't worry, we'll chase them. Probably that's what he said.
I
You
think
understand?
believe
And then
I
he's now
believe
playing
you have to
victim
rethink.
of his own wrong analysis. So if he has people that advise him, it's not
Yeah.
lack of support. At his premiere, they displaced 24 Rolls Royce. And those
Hmm.
Rolls Royce come from who? I didn't know your friends. I didn't know people that support you.
Wow.
Like people have been posting your work. Like it's not lack of support.
Wow.
You Yeah, if you see that preview, you go and check it. You should spend a lot of money. All Brain Jotter is not small now. All of the people that have promote hype his movie, they're not small content creators. They are big ones. You understand? So, but you're not having the effect because you release your movie going head to head with the queen of the game. You don't do that because when you were selling tables out 10 years ago every day, no one dares compete with you. No one does. So you don't do that in because everybody has their lane, and it just needed to have uh you know that ability to be able to understand the timing of everything, and that's what he missed out. So we believe that timing is very very important um, when it comes to movie release. Timing is very very essential because as we know, like a lot of people, like Queen Latifah, for instance, she has done an amazing assignment and she released a movie. We're expecting that there is no way you can compete with someone that has a large audience. A lot of people have been waiting for EOJ in December, and she's the master of the game. So you can't compete head to head with that except you have like a massive funding. AY has a lot of marketing money also and everything. But for me, I just believe that the movie itself makes the timing. You know, the movie itself. Welcome back, Lizzie.
Sorry, my stuff went off.
It's okay. So the movie itself just missed that mark in the timing. It's not the lack of money or lack of support. I know that
Mhm.
that post he made it was just a way to drive empathy and virality and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
and self-blame is not like why would you have been enjoying support selling table outs for years now, like, and it's men that have been supporting those things. You
Mhm.
understand? So, but I think maybe you have a different opinion from me. Go ahead.
For me, ever since AY delved into the movie industry, he hasn't been so successful when it comes to how people receive his movies, to be honest. So whether he releases that movie in December or releases it in the summer, I feel he would still get the same reaction from people.
Or
Whether
it will
he's
be better. It will be
sorry,
better. It will be better. Like
it probably will be
just four
better.
movies now. Four movies you have to compete with.
I know when I saw the lineup, I was like, I was thinking about Hollywood as well and other movie industries, and I remember that the way people handle the cinema in this part of the world is different from how we handle it in Africa. So it's like that competition is there, like that
Yeah.
aggressive competition, which shouldn't be really, because okay, Moana 2 was released, and then you have the Lion King, Mufasa, like
Yeah.
a prequel sort of thing coming up. It has already been released last week or
And then
thereabouts.
Sonic.
And
Sonic
then
3.
yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog also was released last week Saturday. Yeah, I remember. So you see how these people release their movies, and they don't make so much, did I say so much online fuss about the marketing of the movies. They post the stuff and they make jingles and all of that, and that's about that. And then they rely on people going to cinemas to watch it.
Because
It's
number one, we are still like
coming up.
Nollywood right now. We are
Mhm.
like in Hollywood 50 years ago or 70 years ago. Yeah,
So the
we are
competition
still,
to me is not,
yeah,
it's not very healthy.
it's not healthy. Yeah.
It's not healthy at all, and it gives me cause for worry. But then again, what will one do? They will always do what they want to do. So as for AY, when he was into pure comedy, he was selling out, like you said, he was selling out venues and all the rest. But ever since he entered into the movie industry, it's like people are like, guy, you shouldn't have bothered if you just stay for your comedy lane where you did. So whatever he produces, people want to raise eyebrows on it. I remember
Yeah.
when he released what's the name of that his movie, the one that is now on Netflix. He went the one is shot in South Africa. Was it South
Oh,
Africa or thereabouts? And then the other movies, the Lagos Bad Boys movie that has sequels.
yeah. For me, like I think I've not I've seen one. Is it 30 Days in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, there was 30 Days in Atlanta. Yeah,
So
there was that
because that
one. Then
movie
there is the
died,
sequel. There is the other ones now in
yeah.
Netflix that has
Then they
about
did the
three
Jamaican
sequels.
one
Then there was a
with Funke
Jamaican one.
Akindele.
Yeah.
So I think I tried to see that also. But
Uh-huh.
then my concerns about AY movie is that I've not finished any of his movie before.
Why? Why?
So yeah, because he overhacked, like he put so much effort into acting, and he just not natural. You understand? And you just like this one is not a natural actor. So he shouts a lot. He tries to drive his points, in every scene. He overdo every scene. But I think the waiter could have been a very good one because it's an action-packed movie.
Movie, yeah. From the
So
trailer, I can tell.
action-packed movie, yeah, it's bring out his fierceness as he likes to be in movie. You
Yeah,
understand? And then
yeah,
put it in comedy, which is good.
yeah,
Just like what a Kevin Hart will do. Kevin Hart is the comedian, and then you put him in the action movie.
yeah,
So if he does things absurdly, it's
yeah.
funny. It doesn't have to be perfect at shooting gun and stuff like that. But it's just comedy, and it makes it fun. So they appear
D-
like Kevin Hart and The Rock, for instance. The Rock is like
Yeah,
action guy. You understand?
yeah.
And then Kevin Hart is the one putting the lightning mode and everything, and then he wants to do something, he can't do it well. So the
Do you
waiter
know?
could have felt the same way,
Yeah,
but in the pure comedy one that he has done, he has
yeah.
always tried to act too much. Like I don't see that natural.
Do you know?
Like
The thing,
A Ramsey Noah is doing so well,
of
and an
course,
AY is just
Tokumbo.
spoiling everything.
The thing is that one thing I've come to realize is people have this difficulty detaching comedians' persona from when they start to act. Because
But what about Kevin
you
Hart? Kevin
mentioned
Hart was
Kevin
a
Hart.
comedian that acts
You
well.
mentioned Kevin Hart now. There's hardly any movie Kevin Hart will produce that he doesn't have serious, massive backlash from Hollywood
No.
viewers. I'm telling you the truth because Kevin Hart started as a stand-up comedian and then he delved into acting. the kind of backlash he gets, even when he acted this father's something about fatherhood or thereabout,
Yeah.
massive backlash. He acted another one where there was a money heist and all of that.
No,
The
the
same
money
thing.
heist was bad. That one was bad. Even for me, I'm like, no, no, no.
The
That
same
was
thing
worse.
again with another one that he acted that was like a parody of Die Hard. So the title was Die Hard, Die and the
Die Hard.
HART, Die Hard
But
1 and 2. He has also
Jumanji was
received
perfect,
constant
right?
backlash. So the same thing is affecting AY right now. People are having
Yeah.
difficulty detaching that stand-up comedy persona and
Personally,
image
yeah.
they've already built in their head from his acting career. So he's facing that as a difficulty, to be honest. So the movie is Merry Men. When I saw the
Yeah,
reviews
very men,
online
right?
about Merry Men, oh my god, it was like it was the worst movie ever. And then only
I've
for
not,
me to go and watch it, I
I've not
enjoyed it.
seen, yeah, I've not seen Merry Men actually because,
I've seen all
like,
three Merry Men. In
I
fact, I
love
enjoyed the
movies,
third one, Merry Men 3. I
right?
think he started the shoot from the US. The opening scene
Yeah,
was
one, two,
shot in
three,
the
yeah.
US. Yeah, and then the rest. I loved Ufoma McDermott. I love her character in that movie as well. In fact, everybody did well. But I think he's also trying to always include Regina Daniels in his movies.
Mm.
But her acting, to me, ever since she stopped acting those child character where she would be having supernatural powers and all of that, I kind of okay. But
Yeah.
then he tries to include her in his movies. So basically speaking, AY would always face these kind of things because people
Yeah,
are
but
finding
what about
difficult to
Basket Mouth?
receive him.
Basket Mouth has been an amazing actor, but he's still a comedian.
Do people receive his movies that much? Actually, he's the one that is in charge
So
that is producing
reception,
the ghetto
receptions
love
is
story.
receptions is different from being a very good actor. Like you can be a very good
It's
actor
the
and
same
you have
thing.
not blown. You understand? Like you are because number one, we look at okay, because AY is a successful name. So
Yeah.
because of that, when he makes movie, the movie should be successful like that. No. You understand? It might not be, and because and then when you look at the performance of
Yeah.
them, I don't know, but when you look at who is a natural actor compared to Basket Mouth act like Basket Mouth can like it's just aside from that, he's one of the flawless comedian in
Yeah, I
Nigeria.
think he is.
Anyway,
But then you
so
have
and
Bovi. How do you compare Bovi and AY?
no, 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 no. Bobby is on a level that is totally different from AY. For me, Bobby is on a level that is totally different from AY.
Is he better an
Bobby
actor
doesn't try
than
so
AY?
hard.
To
In my own
me,
opinion,
I
if
prefer
I'm
AY's acting to Bovi's. You see what he did with his Prime Video series. What's the name of that
life death,
series?
right? Life
Sorry?
and death. Life
Yeah,
and
Life
death.
and Dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not
He
seen
he
it.
was struggling to deliver in that series. I've reviewed it. He was struggling. You could tell he was
Mm.
struggling to deliver. It was like he had lots of scripts to you see him as if he's reading an on-screen
From this
write up. Yeah.
I'm embodying it. Yeah.
So I prefer AY's acting. That's the thing about movies. Yeah, people have their preferences. People have
Mm.
actors and actresses that they resonate with, that they can relate with, that they can connect with. We all can't have the same preference, and that's one thing. When you mention if Nollywood is ready for critics, they are not ready yet because the way some of them attack criticism, it's like, wow, how dare you say this kind of a thing about my actor, about this person? Because
Yeah.
you see a particular actor as a demigod, or you love their acting, no matter, they can't do no wrong in your eyes, doesn't mean that if a person points out something, the person is now wrong and he is the worst
Do
person
you
on earth.
think AY would have been a better producer than a film than acting himself?
Yeah, 100%. If he solely chooses to just be the producer and get other actors, he can do well in that regard, and get other top names and maybe upcoming actors as well, and he would do well. But then he decides to put his face there because he is a brand in itself.
Yeah, I feel like he can use his brand
Yeah, he can use his brand to sell his products. Just that people are not receiving it as much as
as
he
much. Yeah.
he, he would have expected.
What do you think about Ramsey Noah and the way he's been going in his
He's he's
compared
doing
to
he's doing
what
well. I think compared to who?
like Ramsey Noah have chosen producing and being
Yeah.
the behind the scene and creating some
Mhm.
amazing content now.
Yeah.
And he feature on exclusive movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good strategy to,
He's doing well, and that's one thing I expected from most of the veterans.
yeah,
Because I've seen some movies on Prime Video and I just shake my head. I'm like, if you're wanting to, if you're a veteran and you've been away from the screen for quite a while and you're trying to come back, it should be a big hit. Not you coming back and it's like you're an upcomer. You understand? If you see that you're struggling, you have to reserve and conserve your respect instead of losing that respect in the eyes of the viewers. You can just be a
yeah,
producer. You must not necessarily show your face. So that's why I appreciate Ramsey Noah. If he decides to feature in the movie as one of the characters, I'm sure he will still do well. But being
yeah,
behind the scene is also a respectable decision. I love what he did with Tokumbo.
yeah.
I love
That's
what he did with Tokumbo.
masterclass.
And
That's
that's
a
one thing
good one.
about good movies. Good movies sell themselves. When
Yeah,
I see some of this marketing and massive promotion of movies, I'm like, to me, sometimes it's just okay because you have the money to pump into this marketing. That's why you can afford to do it. But
yeah,
if a movie is good, it is good. The word of mouth, reviews online will push people to go and see these movies, not just by whether you market the movie. You understand? Because if you
yeah,
market these movies and then people go to see it and it's not as good as the way you marketed it, it will leave the memories of people just the same way they went to see the movies. My best movie till date is The Sound of Music, and this movie was produced way back in 1965. And same thing with other good movies that are springing up day in day out. You have Breath of Life, the one Chimeze Imo featured in. I think that was his acting or thereabout. It sold itself, and then it bagged so many awards in the last AMVCA, and then the actors as well bagged some awards. So a good movie sells itself. So for a producer to just be behind the scene is a welcome development and it's quite appreciable, or it's something we'll appreciate. To be honest, you
yeah.
have
So
Omoni Oboli. If she doesn't necessarily feature in most of her movies. She
anymore, yeah,
doesn't. Yeah, I think it's Wives on Strike that I saw that. Okay, I've not seen that one yet. And then you have my last year being single, which I've not been able to see due to this Niger Netflix. Pardon me, Niger on Netflix and all of those things are causing some issues. And I think now we understand better. It's because Netflix has sort of severed relationship with Nollywood in a certain way. So that's why you have some movies, they'll tell you the movie will be streamed on Netflix. We would wait, anticipating and getting our popcorn and our drinks ready,
it
only for
doesn't
the day
come.
of release to come. We'll be refreshing and refreshing and refreshing our devices and our account, only to be met with a rude awakening that it's just Netflix Niger. It is what it is. It is what it
So what's
is.
your AMVCA is 10 years now
Yeah.
in Nigeria. What do you think about the awards and the impact on Nollywood?
They are appreciating good talents, even though I feel that Nigeria being Nigeria, corruption would always play its own role in some things where some persons you feel okay deserves this award better than the other may not get it. But at the end of the
Mm.
day, there are some overwhelming awards that if you try to play any hanky panky about that award, people would give an uproar. You understand? So they can't do anything about it. But
A
I
lot
want
of
to
people
believe
said
that
the last one was one of the fairest.
it was one of,
Uh,
yeah, I believe so. I believe so too. I believe so. I think there was one time where an actor cried out online stating that he was denied a particular award because some things that were going on in the
behind the
background,
scene. Yeah,
yeah, behind the scene, that some of the things they wanted him to do, he couldn't meet up with it. And of course, it was against his personality and his preferences. He was denied that award. So things like that, I believe, would be um would be causing a lot of things for some actors to not get their flowers that they rightly deserve.
yeah. Okay, so that is, I think MVCA is. We are analyzing the 10 years of AMVCA, the
Yeah.
data, and we've uncovered a lot of amazing insights from there. We'll be sharing that very soon. But I think
Okay.
awards like that are very important. In the beginning, like even Oscar, a lot of people like, yeah, they just circles and something.
Mm-hmm.
There'll always be side talk, but the thing is that it's because people are talking.
Yeah.
That's why you see changes, and that's
Changes,
why
yeah.
Nollywood should not be pushing us like, don't do critics of our movies, because
Yeah, they
when
should
people
embrace
talk,
us.
things get better. Even
Mm-hmm.
politics, we all condemn politicians and stuff like that, and we see that when we talk, things get better, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. So it should be normal. Nigerian business. When you review a Nigerian business, that's when you ask police to come and take you because you are
Yeah.
spoiling my business and stuff.
Yeah, there was one
But
lady who fell into that trap.
yeah, so we have to
So sad.
have that skin, have
Hmm.
that feedback, but people have the platform to stand up, to speak out, you
Yeah.
know. And I think it's something that we have to continue to instill. That's why we
Hmm.
need independent writers like you that are not being bought or being given money behind the scene to cover events. You understand? And also, we have parties of Africa like you're not being bought, nobody's paying you to do it, but
Yeah.
you are opening a platform for everyone. You understand? And
Yeah.
yeah, there can be sponsor stories and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but everybody still have a fair shares of
Yeah.
coverage
Yeah.
and ability to be able to get impact, which I think is really great. So, who is your best director 2024?
Oh, that would be difficult to answer because
Okay, top three.
oh, mm, Ramsey Noah,
Okay, what movie is that?
Tokumbo,
Talking about okay.
and then you have Tosinigo,
Mm,
Tosinigo with Suspicion.
Suspicion. I've not seen Suspicion, but I've
Have you
had
not? Oh, you should. You should.
I
They
have good
did.
stories
They did.
about
The opening. The first act was really really impactful. I've not seen an action a Nollywood action movie that caught my attention that much.
like that.
The cinematic display, the theatrics was more like seeing the Matrix play out where someone is catching a
Wow,
bullet live. It was like, yeah, way to go, Nollywood. So yeah,
RRR
totally.
vibe.
Yeah, that RR effect, but that RR, oh my god, Bollywood with their slow motion, that just it sort of discourages me. But they are doing well. I love Bollywood movies. I love Bollywood movies. Most of them that are not doing too much tricks and all of that. So
Yeah.
you have Tosenigo, and who will be my third? Hmm. There's this movie, Night, a song in the dark, a song in the dark on Prime
Mm.
Video. I'm not sure you've seen it.
I'm not sure I've seen it.
The name of the director has just flown off my head now. When I reviewed that movie, what came to my mind was Us.
Oh,
Us was Us featured Lupita Nyong'o.
yeah, I know that movie.
So that was the first thing that came to my mind. So when I wanted to do the review, I was doing my proper research and all of that. I discovered that the director of A Song in the Dark, which is a Nollywood mystical, um,
Is it a song in that or a song from the dark?
A Song from the Dark. That's the one. Yeah, A Song from the Dark.
Ogo Ukwe.
Well, yeah. So that would be my third. So
Hmm.
he really did something new with that movie. Although it's
Interesting. I'm not
sorry,
even seeing. I'm not sure we've covered this movie.
have you not? Maybe you should.
I'll
I've reviewed it. It's just it's sort of different from the everyday Nollywood movies. All these producers all these directors I mentioned, their
nine
movies are
reviews and it's like 4.5.
yeah.
Not
The
bad.
overall review wasn't that amazing because somewhere along the line it started off being boring, and then it didn't really meet the
Oh, I've seen.
expectations.
I know the movie, but it was different posters I saw.
Okay.
I think I've seen
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
but the way I select my directors and producers is that concept, that
Yeah.
ideology, to do something different from the usual. That's what
Nollywood.
attracts me to them. Then you have producers like Tiger Fire Rose. She did my Gen Z stepfather. That
Yeah, I think
was
that's
that
YouTube, right?
was that, what?
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, she's one of the writers of postcards.
Hmm.
Netflix's postcard, the Bollywood
Hollywood
Nollywood
and
movie,
Nollywood.
yeah, with RMD,
Shola.
Shola Shobowale, yeah. So that was a very good one. She's a good writer, a good producer as well. You have
Okay.
Omoni Oboli. We're talking about producers now. You have Omoni Oboli. You have Ruth Kadiri. Ruth Kadiri is one of the people who encouraged this.
Yeah, I know
Massive influx.
she deserve her flowers, I think,
She does
because
because she's bringing up
she
new actors
yeah, and also she give us she's like the Linda Ikeji of YouTube.
of YouTube. Exactly. She opened people's
So
eyes to like,
she opened us
wow, I
like
can make
it's
this
possible.
much money
And
from YouTube.
so I like that Bimbo also follows suit.
Oh yeah, and
Which
one
is
thing I like
good.
about Bimbo is that she's not in a hurry to release as much movies. I think this year she's only
Yeah,
released about 5 movies,
six this year.
about 6 years. So she's not in a hurry. But I'm beginning to have some about Bimbo.
About
I
us.
hope she does some things about some of the things we've pointed out. She
Yeah.
uses Timini Egusin a lot. I love Timini. Somebody
I
has
think it's because
commented.
they have that chemistry and dynamic. She wants to just milk it very well.
The chemistry is not there. I wish they would add
I mean,
siblings.
fans
Okay,
like
for
it.
fans love the online. ugh,
Yeah,
Fans
theater.
will always say
Because
things, but don't
I've
always base your
I
analysis on fans'
I have
responses.
from our own data and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Nollywood fans love Timini to fault.
Oh yeah, they do.
I'm telling you, Timini
He's
is a
lovable,
spoken secret. If you want
and
to sell
Bimbo.
your movie, put Timini. Timini is even maybe more than Bimbo. People love Timini out
People love
because we
Bimbo
did
as
a
well.
we did compare a post on our Facebook
Yeah.
and thousands of views. If you see the out, you like people are crazy about this guy.
You know
I'm telling you,
some of these things all boil down to algorithm. Sometimes Facebook sees a particular post and sees the faces and then pushes that post to people who will respond
onto
positively
them. Well,
to those
maybe
faces that they've
also,
seen. So
but
sometimes,
then even when you see people that don't like them, and then you see the counter comments and people.
yeah.
So, but in the real sense, to me, there is a love. Like people just
Yes,
like
there
that
is no doubt, no doubt.
guy
But
a
it will
lot.
get to that state of
Yeah,
equilibrium again where it starts to decline. She has
yeah,
used him
definitely.
severally
So
in projects this
they
year.
are
I
trying
think
to.
she
I
should
think
have
they're
a
just trying to
routine.
like let's squeeze all the money from this love
From
before it die.
yeah. So they are good. She's done some good movies. And you have others. You have this Edo lady as well that pulled a big one. The
Yeah,
Etinosa Igbenedion.
yeah. That's how it's amazing.
She put the first one on people where it was like she was getting married to one white guy and it turned out to be a movie.
Yeah,
So it's
it's a
pretty much
past
like
life.
people pulling tricks now to sell movies. And that's why people are not buying VDM story about 180 million, 160 million as it were
Yeah,
missing
like
from
okay.
NGO accounts
Yeah,
and
I
all of
think
that.
like because this guy also have been posting and shading
Yeah,
uh,
it's
Mike
shading G Mike.
Mike.
Yeah,
I
that's
even just like come on, this is
yeah,
we know
small
this
boy. But he was
prank.
just mentioning small boy, and
But
we're
small
like,
boy, yeah,
so what's the title of the movie? Small boy. I
small
think he
boy, we
blocked
know what
either he
you're doing.
blocked me or he locked his account that day after posting. But I went back to sort of get more information, but I couldn't get access into his account. So it's more like people shade people these days to sell movies. So it's pretty
Yeah,
much like do what you can to get what you want and all of that.
yeah. I
Money,
think
money,
the
money.
my own idea is that we are still at that
So
primitive
I
stage.
would have to go soon. I thought this
Yeah,
was going to
definitely.
be a one hour. So I'm enjoying myself, but my kids are
Yeah,
beginning to.
I know. Even for me, I'm taking my kids to. We are going to the salon soon, so we'll be
Okay.
rounding up.
Mhm.
So I think on final note, just your top movies of 2024, and then we can wrap with that.
Ooh, so my top would be Kilborough.
Yeah, that's an amazing movie. Yeah,
I I did a kind of challenge recently where I sort of gave the opportunity to people to collate the movies I've reviewed this year. I could do it myself because I do editing as well. I'm good with some level of editing. But I just thought, okay, how about you engage people to do this? And I'm loving what is coming in so far. So yeah, Kilborough would be one of my best one because they used the indigenous pidgin English
yeah,
all through and it was quite natural and the story was not like the everyday story and it was set in the creeks,
yeah.
so we would love to see movies like that. And then you'd I have oh, to be difficult honestly, but at top you have that Kilborough. And then for comedy you have Rus Bimbo Demoye's Rus. I have
Oh,
never
okay.
laughed that hard where she had to impersonate, not necessarily impersonate, she had to change her looks, just look like a man and all of that.
It's like Big Mama's house, Nigerian version, right?
I
That was
I
great.
loved I loved that movie. Something I could easily see again. And then right now my head is all over the place because the kids are already banging the door. So I've mentioned two now. I've mentioned
Okay, it's
Kilborough,
fine.
Roots. I've seasoned with love. I think that one was recent that I saw, and then I loved Miss PJ.
Yeah, okay.
But the way it ended, I was quite disappointed. So that affected the overall score. I loved
Mm,
Suspicion as well by Tosinigo. The starting was incredible, but then the middle was lacking substance. It was more like they were looking for fillers to just extend the time,
so the
which
mo-
wasn't necessary. Yeah, the subplots wasn't so necessary in driving the major plot. So,
mm,
but then it was good, and because there are so many movies, so it's difficult to pinpoint. There's another one too that struck a chord in me, Altered Emotions by this guy who has become a producer now as well. He featured Shazni Okawa.
okay.
It was short. It was 1 hour. It was like pa 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 pa. They were done. So I like such. So I've
Well,
mentioned a
amazing.
few ones now.
Very straight point. I think
Yeah.
it's
So
okay.
yeah, because
Yeah,
there are
thank you
lots.
very
There are
much.
lots, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you. I just want you
Oh,
to like
my pleasure.
be. I know I have to go, but I just want it to be like conversations or
Yeah.
just have fun and enjoy each other. But probably like very soon we have more conversation like this in the
Yeah,
future,
that would be great.
and also more collaboration. And well done on the work you're doing. It's
Oh, thank
amazing,
you. Thank you.
and
It's lovely to hear.
just keep doing it. I will try one of these days and invite you for maybe lunch or dinner.
Ooh, that would be
You know,
great. That would be cool.
all right. So enjoy
The
the
pleasure
rest of
is
the
mine. The pleasure is mine. Yeah. Regards. Stay well.
yeah. Cheers.
Mm.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. So this has been an amazing conversation with Lizzie. It's about over 2 hours, and I think yeah, I just want it to be natural and just talk and have an amazing time. And if you missed it, definitely you can rewatch this and hopefully subscribe to Pastor of Africa TV, follow us on all of our YouTube channels, and also for movie recommendations, where to watch movies, new movies release, upcomings, visit www.pottyjollof.africa and support our work. This is initiative is volunteers, personal funding driven, and we just want the best for the industry, you know. And if everything works out, it will raise the industry. It will mean better content and better movies for movie lovers also, and also growth for everyone, and also for the economy, also it's also going to be amazing stuff and create more opportunities for jobs, for new movie makers, and that's what exactly what we want. So thank you everyone for all of the support this year for Partnership of Africa. It just started like like yeah, like a joke, but now it's becoming something that a lot of people love, and next year we'll continue to do more on the platform. Thank you everyone, and see you later. Bye.